Good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with KetoSimple. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome. I'm so glad to see all of you here today. It's Sunday. I have my coffee. Mr. Bucky here, Mr. Bucky Beaver, and I are so glad you're here today. Oh, looks like Evelyn is here. Good morning, Evelyn. Thank you for being here so early. 7 o'clock this morning. What are you doing? Sybil's in the house. Good morning, she says. They say, hello, everyone. United Carnivore, greetings from Tampa Bay. Karen Harrington's in the house. Good morning. Karen says, good morning. You mean I got to be here for the beginning of a live? Fantastic. Andy. She says, hello, everyone, and welcome to the early crew. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Mr. Gugahan is in the house. Good morning, Mr. Gugahan. I'm glad to see you, sir. And Rick is here, says, got back from an iguana hunt. None on the ground. Carnivore K is here. Good morning, beautiful friends. Woo! I was running a little late. I was making my coffee. It's a little bit late this morning. You know how it goes, right? I don't know who on earth decided to start this thing at 7:30 in the morning. I don't know who they are. They should be fired. Oh, let's see. Sean Bradley's in the house. Good morning, my friend Sean. How are you? Andy says, and I sit at my computer for 15 minutes watching it tick down before my live stream. First sip of coffee. It's so glorious, isn't it? Let me move this down just a little bit here. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, let's see what's going on here. Rick is cooking breakfast. Must be nerves. You're an old lad at this, and just nervous newbie. Sybil V says, hello, everyone. Well, hello, good morning, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. You'll fit right in, I'm sure of it. Andy says that I'm going to see my granddaughter today. I'm so excited. I'll tell you what. Our granddaughter came over last night for a little bit. Oh, just for a little bit. Just for a couple of minutes. It was nice to see her. But was tired because it was about 8 o'clock at night, and she should have been in bed. You know? That's how I feel. I should be in bed. Always. Yes, Becky, it is always coffee time. Keto Rockin' Amy's in the house. I'm so glad to see you, my dear. Oh, who else is here? Amy says, I'm still in bed and can't move today. Well, you don't have to. Just relax. Enjoy the day. Take the day. Enjoy it. Carl's in the house. Good morning, Carl. Becky says, hi, Dustin. That's me. Sean's asking if everything is okay. John's jealous of the Buc-ee's cup. I may be buying another one tomorrow. I will be on my way to Nashville, Tennessee, and I will be passing a Buc-ee's, and I may or may not stop. Probably will stop. I can't not drive by a Buc-ee's that I've never been to before and not stop. As the last time I drove through that area, that Buc-ee's was not open yet. It was just a dirt plot of land, and now it's open. Rick says it's time for me to open the door and let the Black Menace in. He's talking about a kitten. Kitten, folks. Evelyn's saying hello to everyone in here. She's typing out. Her fingers are probably tired. Sybil says, Turkish coffee is really good. The only black coffee that I like. I just like espresso. So as of what I tell everybody, this right here is 5 shots of Nespresso espresso and 3 teaspoons of espresso powder. So it's a lot. It's not for the faint of heart. Yeah, because this goes right in here into what Becky's asking. How does everyone take their coffee, black, MCT, oil, or butter? Mine is espresso, lots and lots of espresso. So basically it's 8 shots of espresso and heavy cream because delicious is why. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up as we're getting started here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Barbara Carter is in the house. I'm sorry, Caster. I can't see today. Woo! Okay. That's sort of better. Barbara Caster's in the house. Good morning, Barbara. Glad to see you. Everybody's saying hello to everyone. Andy says my coffee right now is butter and an egg. Yes. I've tried egg in my coffee. I don't know how I feel about it. It's not, heavy cream is just the goat, you know? Mr. Guggenhan says they are building one in my town. I cannot wait. I know, man. I'm excited. We're getting a Wawa's here in our little town in Brownsburg, Indiana. They're building a Wawa's. I was not exactly like excited about that. I mean, granted, where they're putting it, it would not be a good place for a Buc-ee's. It would ruin the town. But yeah, I mean, Wawa to me was just like a dirty gas station. I know like Rachel really loves that place, and I don't really know what she sees in it. Maybe it's just something that she's been around for a while and just likes it. But I went to there was just one near our condo in Kissimmee, and yeah, I wasn't impressed. It was just set up weird. I didn't know. I was waiting and waiting for someone to help me, and they were like, "Oh, the cash register's over there." I'm like sitting here with my drinks and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, that's over there." Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't know the moves. Plus some heavy whipping cream. That's the only way. It's the only way. And I'm so excited that our Walmart has started carrying the big containers of heavy cream because, you know, the small containers are just not enough. The kitten destroyed your stereo. Well, that is not good, Rick. I would, you know, I don't know what you need to do with the cat, but that cat seems to be running your life. And that cat's going to run your life for like 20 years. Barbara says, I've been using salty for my coffee lately. Well, that sounds delicious. Becky's asking, how does that taste? Karen says, weak coffee with small bit of keto chow, iodine, and whipped raw egg. I can't do weak coffee. I've got to have a strong cup of coffee. Otherwise, it just doesn't do it. Let's see. Mighty Healthy Michelle's in the house. Good morning, Michelle. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning. enjoying my coffee and butter and caramel vibe salty. Now, doesn't that sound delicious? Barbara says, it's okay, Dustin. You're not the first to say Carter. Like, when my eye, I look at it, I'm like, I see the C, I see the R, I'm like, Carter. It's just like that. Yeah, it's just the way the brain works. Amy says, I do black coffee, but recently started putting salty Coco Loco with a pat of butter for hormone control on days I'm not fasting. Well, look at you. Experimenting. Barbara says, Coco Loco and caramel vibes. And Evelyn is saying that we start with Bones coffee. This morning is Wookie Cookie. I add stevia, keto brains, daily minerals, and iodine. That's a nice little concoction you got there. You're like, got it going on. And Brian says, good morning. Day 3 of the crud here. Yeah, I've kind of got that a little bit. I don't know what's gonna go. I don't know which way it's gonna go. Either I'm gonna be fine or I'm not. But we'll have to wait and see. It's touch and go at the moment. Karen says, oh yes, half a packet of Coco Loco. Oh, let's see. Sybil says, I like hot lattes and vanilla flavor. I love vanilla. I like a good vanilla flavor. Yeah, weak coffee is dirty water. I mean, I don't know. Like, I add the espresso powder because I kind of figure when I make the larger things of espresso, it's adding too much water. And I know that's kind of like the Americano way of doing it or whatever, but I just want to make sure that it's, it's substantial. I want to know that I've had a cup of coffee. John says, I actually miss the half pint containers of heavy cream. I buy the pint and I always go sour before I can finish it. I only use a splash of my coffee. I'm talking about I've been getting the 64-ounce containers. They're $10 at Walmart, and I bought 4 yesterday. So I bought 4 64-ounce containers. We go through more than a splash. It's probably not so good for us, but hey, it's a meal for me. Coffee in the morning, and then I don't eat till like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, who knows what time o'clock, So Sean says, all right, I'm intrigued. What is a Wookie cookie? Well, it's not Tuesday. I shouldn't be thinking and trying to say the things that I'm thinking of saying. But when one Wookiee loves another Wookiee, that Wookiee shows that other Wookiee their cookie. Anyway, I went there. I apologize. I'm sorry. Rick says, Kitty will grow out of the craziness. You think that, and then they don't. And John says, for some reason, ever since the pandemic, 1 or half pints of cream have disappeared. Never seen them again in my area. Well, I've only ever seen like the small, like the 16-ounce, the 32-ounce, and now the 64-ounce. And Evelyn is telling Sean that it's chocolate chip cookie flavored coffee by Bones. And Andy says that she needs to up her iodine intake tracking. Last month been a game changer in scheduling little experiments. Yeah, I don't know how I'm doing with the with the iodine. I put iodine on my coffee today. I don't do it every day. I forget. I put it in Chandra's every day. Yeah, and Sean says, that sounds amazing. Tracking my food is what Andy was trying to say, and that's okay. Christian Delorme is in the house. Bonjour, everybody. My pleasant weekly meetup with Dustin and Chan. Well, bonjour, everybody. Christian, I am so glad you are here. So glad you're here. Bonita's in the house. Me and my coffee made it. Good morning. Well, welcome. Andy says, I get to make yogurt again this week. I use a full heavy cream pint and it makes me really creamy. Oh, anyway, I've tried to like yogurt. I really have. I just nope. We're not talking about Wookie Nookie, Dustin. I know, but you got to get that cookie if you want the nookie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't ask. I have no idea what I have no idea what's going on. I'm just here. I don't know what's happening. Your guess is as good as mine. Good morning. Happy Sunday, everybody. My apologies. If you want a refund, I'm sorry. Need to make yogurt. Autocorrect can go away. And John says, thanks for the reminder. I forgot to put iodine in my coffee. Good. Going to add it now. That's good. And Rick says, nookie is not a thing here except for duckies. I mean, you probably should go out and meet some nice lady, Rick. Take her to a nice dinner, a different engine block, You're not wrong. Oh, I actually met them years ago. I had a signed copy, a $3 bill, y'all. The whole band signed it. I don't know whatever happened to it. I just remember that it said Fred sucks on it because that's what Fred Durst wrote on the copy of my on the record. Rick says, I make and eat yogurt. Well, that sounds gross. Different engine block dinner. Yeah. Yeah, nookie is a fun action on date night. I mean, it sure beats, like, what is it? Cold shoulder and chill. You know what I'm saying? Evelyn made yogurt this week. Just so you don't, just so you feel included, okay? This is what you signed up for, folks. This is what you clicked on. This is what you get. You get me and only me. I don't know how to be anybody else but this guy right here. All right, I love having a good time with you guys. Bucky and me and the Beaver and, Wally and... You can have it all you want. I encourage you to make all the yogurt, but keep it all the way on your side of Ohio. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's a lyric in Ash's Stuck on Indiana that just made me laugh yesterday because of all my Ohio friends. I need to look and see if I can find the lyrics. Let's see if I can find probably doesn't have her lyrics anywhere. Well, let me see. Maybe it is. I gotta look through here and see if I can find which ones I'm looking for here. It says, I think twice about Ohio. Oh, I was listening because she released her. So if anybody wants to put the link to Ash's new video for Stuck on Indiana in the chat, that would be awesome. But there's a link. It's like things were always rocky with Colorado, and damn if I think twice about Ohio. Oh yeah, I don't miss Mississippi. Nothing new in New Orleans. Yeah. Yeah. I thought it just hit me just funny yesterday. And so I tweeted out that the new video, because I feel like I live in Indiana and I feel that they should be utilizing her song, just The stuck on Indiana part would be great for like the Indiana State Fair, Indiana Fever, the Indiana Pacers, all the things. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do here in Indiana. Indianapolis 500, the Indianapolis Colts, whatever. Indiana State Fair, all of it. And I think it would be a great opportunity for them to, to capitalize on, we're in Indiana. And that's a very positive song about Indiana. I mean, granted, she's not talking about Indiana as the state, but more as a person who grew up here. But we know that, right? But they don't need to know that, so shh, don't tell them. But yeah. Rick says, date night, is that when you show her the house, she opens the refrigerator and sprints out the front? That's why you need to meet her somewhere else. Go, I don't care where you go. Go somewhere else. Don't bring him back home right away. Maybe go to her place. I don't know. Mind you, in Rick's defense, oil changes are good too. Yes. Oh. Carl's working on keto t-shirt designs because nobody needs any high-carb t-shirts. Am I right, Carl? Sybil says, yogurt made from cream is so good. I'll yuck all your yums. But I love you. Morning, Patricia. Patricia Hoffman's in the house. Good morning. Everybody say hello to Patricia. Good morning to all of my friends. Amy says, when I first started this lifestyle, I ate a ton of store-bought, let's see, higher in carbs and sugar. Quit eating it. I only get it when I need it for a recipe. Yeah, I mean, I think there's like a thing, if it's fermented, get the zero, I don't know. It's just gross. I don't know what's happening. Sean says, I was hoping they were going to do karaoke at KPL. I would love to hear Dr. Barry sing Nookie. Just want to hear him say that cookie and stick it up your yeah. Stick it up your yeah. It would just be one of those weird things to see him do karaoke. John Gugahan says, how much iodine does everyone use? I use a full dropper worth about 10 to 12 drops. I also take 25 milligram iodine supplement each day. I do 4 or 5 drops, between 4 and 6 drops, depending on what comes out of the dropper. That's how I do it. I don't take any extra iodine. I don't necessarily, I mean, as long as I'm getting at least some, I think I'm going to be okay. I mean, I know I'm in the Midwest, and that's kind of like a whole thing here. We need it more than other places, but thank you for that, Sean. Amy says, I feel that's a hit song. I think it's a good song. I love it because it's about Indiana. Rick says, all my t-shirts are white. All mine are dark colors. Low carb t-shirts only. That's right. Yes, please. Save me from all the yogurt. And the thing is I've tried. I've tried over the years. My mom, if this tells you anything, when Cub Foods used to be here in the Midwest, I know there's still some in northern Wisconsin. You can find them up into Minnesota. But here in Indiana, we used to have Cub Foods. There was a bunch of them. And my mom was like, here, let's get you some yogurt. It's got fruit in it. It's going to be delicious. And I'm like, okay. And I picked out what flavors I thought I might like and get home. And I'm like, oh, it was so gross. And then I tried after we tried keto, when we first started doing keto, we found these low carb, they were yogurt drinks. And I was like, no, I just can't. I can't. Nope. 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 All right. So Sean's asking what ingredients in those low carb t-shirts. It's all fiber. It's all fiber. They're net carbs. They're net carbs. Amy says I use 5 to 6 drops of iodine in my coffee. Twin Brooks Acres is in the house. Good morning, my friend. How are you doing? Evelyn says 5 drops of 2%. Karen says 7 drops of 2% iodine. Robin Heron is in the house. Good morning, carnivorous grandma's in the house. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you so very much. Let's see. Rick, need to differentiate between Miami Rick and New Hampshire Rick. Okay. So yeah, we've got keto, the Twin Brook and Twin Brook Acres is Rick, and then we've got the other Rick is in here too, but his name says Rick next to it. So we got Rick and Rick, the Ricks. Which one wants to be Pickle Rick? Let's see. Good Sunday morning. Sybil says yogurt made from heavy cream is good. You could try mascarpone cheese too. I've had mascarpone cheese. That's just like a better cream cheese in a way. Heath is in the house. Good morning, Heath. He says, hey, you, ear hustling while getting some chores done. Better get them all done before Ma wakes up. Like you live on a farm, you got to feed the horses and pick up the eggs. I don't know what's going on. So when I hear chores, I always just think like Little House on the Prairie. Pa, I got my chores done. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. Everybody's so wonderful. So this beef, butter, bacon, and eggs and coffee thing, because I'm not giving up coffee for beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And I know that some people say you don't have to. Some people say you should, but I am not giving up on coffee because coffee doesn't give up on me. You know. So yeah, Evelyn's asking, when am I starting it? I have plans to start it on February the 1st, though I've been kind of incorporating it already. I've been getting the bacon, the eggs, the beef, the butter. We've got like, I don't know, 12 pounds of butter, 15 plus dozen eggs. We've got like 10 pounds of bacon. I got a beef roast the other day and cut it into thin little strips and then cooked them on the cast iron, and they were delicious with just salt. So I'm slowly starting to incorporate that into the daily plan. So it's just not like, it's just going to be what it is. And I'm excited. I kind of feel like I'll feel better. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you did catch a live. I know I start very early in the morning, and I'm not sure where you hail from, but 7:30 in the morning, no matter where you are, is early. Buying what we need. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a lot in the fridge right now anyway. In the pantry, our pantry's always full somehow, but it's the stuff like I don't know how we end up with so much stuff we don't use. Which I'm the one who does the grocery shopping, so I really can't say much about that. But it's just, you know, I don't know. Sean says, "How are you going to dress up bacon?" Well, it's not that she loves bacon. It just fights her. It just gives her heartburn so bad. She loves bacon. It's just it doesn't love her back. So she'll probably incorporate a little bit of chicken just to make sure. I know like the whole triple B&E thing, but it's like just because like the bacon's the kind of thing just to kind of add a little bit of variety. And and pork does the same thing. So like pork loin and all that stuff, we don't eat it because it just kind of gives us heartburn, which is odd, but it's just the way that it is. And especially that it does to both of us. Even like pork, like actual beef roast. Like if we were to cook beef roast the way that people do, like in a crock pot and shred it or whatever, that just gives us indigestion. It just sits heavy. It just sits heavy. When I cook a beef roast, I cut it into thin strips and cook it, and I don't cook it basically it's like cooked rare, medium rare, really just to get a nice crisp on the outside. But that doesn't bother us. But like overcooked meats, like whether it's beef or pork, really just don't. They just sit heavy on us. And I think maybe we've just got to the point now where rare and ultra rare meat is really the case. So I think maybe that might be what is going on with the bacon, where it just doesn't digest properly because bacon's crispy through and through. You're not eating, medium rare bacon. Sybil says that they got some smoked mozzarella from the store. That sounds delicious. Thank you for sharing her page. I appreciate that very much. Everybody go and subscribe to Carnivorous Grandma if you have not already. She does amazing lives, and I try to catch them whenever I see them pop up. She has amazing guests, and they talk about all kinds of wonderful things. John Gugahan says, after listening to Dr. Brownstein and reading, are you sure it's Berenstein? Anyway, Brownstein and reading the book Healing with Iodine by Dr. Circus, I started taking 20 drops of iodine and 225 milligram tablets. I cut that in half about 6 months ago. Yeah, I just kind of wonder, like, what are the telltale signs you need to have iodine, and are there any telltale signs that you've had too much iodine? I just don't know, so I just add it whenever I think about it. I figure that's gonna probably get me at least close. Yeah, and Sean has the same thing here. That smoked mozzarella sounds delicious. Brian Doyle says, I'm adding coconut oil, daily minerals, and heavy cream to my coffee these days. That sounds fantastic. I add a little bit of MCT oil and MCT, iodine, and heavy cream to Chandra's coffee every morning. Hungry Heath's channel. Go subscribe to Mr. Heath and Shelly if you have not done so already. And just be a reminder that they are doing a meetup in Columbus, Ohio on March the 8th. If you have not signed up and you are in the planning stages of going, make sure to get yourself signed up, get your +1 or whatever that is. And you can hang out with me. I will be there in the flesh. I will also be at Amanda Decker's Q&A with Dr. Barry and Nisha. I will be there with Chris Cook in Nashville and his amazingly beautiful wife, talented wife. He's talented too in the kitchen. On Tuesday at the Q&A with Amanda Decker in Dixon, Tennessee. So if you are going to that, I will see you there. My good friend Charlie's in the house. Good morning, Charlie. Darth Carnivore. Good morning, everybody. Listening in while doing folding laundry before heading out to some racquetball. I feel like the only person I know who has never drank coffee before. You sound like a narc, and I don't know if I trust you, but welcome anyway. No, I think I remember the first time I ever had coffee when I was a kid, and my grandma gave me a sip of her coffee. 2 creams, 2 sugars, that type of thing. We were at a Waffle House. And I remember exactly where we were. We were at a Waffle House over near the airport for whatever reason. And she gave me a sip of it, and I'm like, this is disgusting. This is terrible. Why do people drink this? And yet, here I am all these years later, probably 40 years later, enjoying a cup of coffee that I just choose to not live without. I did have an interesting conversation yesterday on Twitter with Rob Wolf, and basically talking about nicotine, and really the only issue with nicotine is the delivery device. a delivery mechanism with nicotine. And I quit smoking in 2010. Uh, and when I did so, I picked up and I said this, a surprisingly more expensive coffee habit. And I'll explain that because when I was smoking cigarettes were about, let's say, $5 a pack, give or take. So 2010 they were $5 a pack. They were on the rise. They're all, I mean, here in Indiana they were about $5 a pack, which was expensive at the time. But I was going through half pack a day, give or take, sometimes more, sometimes less. And when I started drinking coffee, like my coffee was like 250, $3 a cup, for like a 20-ounce cup, like a venti. So in reality, my coffee was more expensive than my cigarette addiction or my cigarette habit. So when I gave it up, I felt like I kind of needed to replace it, and I figured coffee was probably a more healthy way to replace, something instead of like, at the time vaping wasn't a thing yet. I mean, it might have been it might have been coming around, but it wasn't something that I was aware of. And shortly after I quit and kind of got out, got to where I was in a good spot, that's when everybody had like those huge vaping things they were carrying around. They were carrying around gallons of juice, or at least maybe that might have been my friend's group. But yeah, so I mean, it was just one of those things. I had quit smoking, but I was kind of curious, like, what would be. I didn't really get a chance to get an answer from Rob, but um, what would be like a nicotine? Like, what would be an advantage to having nicotine? Like, and if you could get the delivery method to where it didn't cause bodily harm, what's the difference between nicotine and caffeine? Like most of us have caffeine on a daily basis, but we're looking at the delivery method of caffeine here versus delivery method of nicotine being completely different. I mean, if you took tobacco and made tea out of it, it would be awful tasting, I'm sure, but it would be a substantially better delivery method than smoking, vaping, all of those things, and breathing it in. But I don't know. It's just something that I don't know. Like, we understand what caffeine does. Caffeine hits our. I love I know words until I go to use them, and then my brain goes, you know what? We're just gonna pause that for a little bit. But basically, caffeine kind of gives you the illusion that you have energy and all that stuff. But caffeine makes me feel good during the day, and I like it. And I remember smoking and the nicotine, but nicotine was a weird one because nicotine would almost manufacture stress for me. And as a smoker, I would be sitting at my office doing work and I would start to get stressed out. And I'm like, oh, I just got to go smoke. This is terrible. I don't know why I would just get angry. It had been 2 hours or so since I had a cigarette. And I would be like, it's near my break time, and I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette, And like it seemed like, and then when I quit smoking, that all went away. I didn't have that stress feeling, that added pressure. So I felt like that it was almost nicotine was creating that for me. Now, caffeine doesn't do that to me. When I wake up, I'm kind of groggy and I have my cup of coffee and I'm just like, it is more like a Zen type thing. But I mean, if I don't, I've gone 100+ days without coffee, and well, I can do it. I just don't enjoy the day without my coffee. I just truly enjoy the delivery method. And I think that has something to do with it too when it comes to the smoking. The delivery method, like you start to miss that interaction with yourself. Like, they say you're never quite as bored when, as you are when you quit smoking. Because when you're a smoker, you have something, you can go outside to smoke. You can sit there if you're kind of like, man, you're like a long conversation. You can light up a cigarette. There's a lot of these things that come into play with these things, and I think that really does kind of lend itself to the appeal. Or then especially the difficulties in quitting, along with obviously the chemical dependency aspect of it, but just like the physical dependency of having something to do, picking something up, lighting it. something to carry around. You have a reason to go to the gas station. Well, I need to run to the gas station. I'm gonna get some smokes or whatever. Like I go to the gas station to get gas. I hardly ever go in unless it's a road trip and I'm going in to grab a soda or something. There's hardly ever a reason I need to go into the gas station unless the pump isn't working or something, or you got to pay inside. So it's weird, like how those dynamics change. Thank you for sharing Rick's channel there. Twinbrook Acres. Let's see. Sean says, need Shauna for the countdown to the Horde meetup. That's right. But she's probably asleep because she's on the left coast. Thank you for sharing Amy's page. Interesting. I have been having some heartburn at night lately. Yeah, I think it just depends on, like, take a look at what you're eating. Like, we've had like a lot of indigestion, and we noticed it like kind of in the middle. Like, we've been doing this lifestyle since 2016, and obviously when we started, we were consuming a lot of pork products because pork is very cheap. You're getting it $2 a pound, $1.79 a pound, sometimes 99 cents a pound for pork loin, especially back in 2016. And we would get the pork loin, tie it up, put some seasoning on it, put some onions on it. And it was delicious. And then, then you just start to find out that it does kind of give us a little bit of that indigestion. But onions by themselves do not. Becky says, made burger patties, vacuum sealed for the week. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing Andy's page, Evelyn. You are doing such a great job. I appreciate you so much. Very appreciate you, Evelyn. You're the best. Let's see. Brian Dole says, I have a sirloin roast. He has a roast, everybody. A sirloin roast and a chuck roast in the sous vide right now. In 24 hours, may go another day. Oh, that sounds fantastic. Thank you for sharing Chris's channel. Robin, that's very sweet. Subbing to everyone. Thank you to all the content creators. Yeah, that's what we do here. I don't want anybody to not feel that they can't share. If you have a cool new video coming out, talk about it. We'll talk about a new video. Because I think the community is very helpful with that, because we are putting out our content for the community. And this isn't viewership, and the number of views is not, in my opinion, a famine environment. I think there's enough content, enough people to watch to go around. Now, there may not be enough time in the day to watch all of the lives, but there's the chance to listen to some of them in, replay form and all of that. I dropped a video yesterday talking about the importance of electrolytes in the wintertime. I think they kind of get overlooked in the winter, where I think they may be more important in the summer, because in the summertime, you're thirsty. You're parched. You're like, you physically feel the sweat. You feel how hot it is. But in the wintertime, you just kind of feel dry. But I don't think that resonates with hydration. I think you just kind of feel it's winter. It's dry. My lips are dry. That's normal, but it's not. And I think that's something and it's a very short video. It's less than 3 minutes, but it's kind of, it didn't have a very good watch yesterday. Only like 50 some views yesterday in 24, like not even 24 hours. But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sous vides are very nice. They're like fancy baths from meat and plastic. Let's see. Andy says, talk to my granddaughter for 14 minutes. At 2x, sure. Or 2x until I catch up again. All right. Laundry is the next thing on my list to do. I got to do a couple loads of laundry today, too. I mean, I probably have way more. I have I feel like there's like 100 loads of laundry to do at any given time. And there's 2 of us that live here. I don't know how that happens. I don't know what's going on. And I could wear the same thing every day and still feel like I have unlimited laundry. I don't know how does that happen? I don't know. Yeah, and just remember that tonight I'll be doing another live, but with these 2 other guys. You may have heard of them. Chris from Chris Cook in Nashville and Victor from Southern Keto. He and I will be going live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for a third installment of the Keto Crusade. We were talking about addiction and how the addiction aspect of our lifestyle, the food addiction aspect of our lifestyle, tends to get overlooked by a lot of creators and a lot of people in the industry, where they just say, you just do what I do. They're just do it and just push through. You can do exactly what I do. And that's not necessarily possible for a lot of people, especially in the beginning. If you're trying to heal and you're trying to overcome the addiction of decades of eating improperly, there's no amount of you can just force your way through it is going to help some of these people. And we have to have an understanding that there's a lot of nuance to what we do here. And we have to understand that addiction is something that can take a lot of time to get through and heal. And people are going to battle that for a long time. I still battle addiction with food, and I've done this for going on 9 years. Is it better? Oh, 1,000% better. But it doesn't go away. I still have the issues. I still have the concerns. I still have to have that in my head and in my thoughts when I'm planning things and when we're going places and all of that. Even my whole outlook of consistency over perfection is because the addiction aspect is there. Because no matter how much in control you think you may be of yourself, addiction's always kind of lurking there. And it's not necessarily looking at it as an excuse, but it's once you've kind of got to that point, it's always kind of looming over your shoulder. And we'll talk more in depth about that tonight, but just kind of wanted to let you know what we'll be talking about tonight. And I think that that's a very important topic, because I think a lot of the creators, especially like some in the carnivore space, some in the fitness space, they'll kind of, just eat your meat and you'll be fine. Well, that's all well and good, but it takes time to get there. And I think that's an important topic to discuss. So yeah. Sean says, thanks for the reminder. It's also on my to-do list. And he says, about 4 drops of iodine. I'm starting again today in my coffee. Today we are breaking our triple B&E with chicken wings in the air fryer for lunch until I leave for 3 days. Oh yeah. Robin says, I quit smoking in Y2K. They were less than $4 a pack. Now they won't even let me have the test to check my lungs. Let's see. Quitting was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Yeah. For me, I think I tried before. And the problem was I was trying to quit, but I had people in my life that kind of like roommates and stuff who still smoked. And having that was very difficult. So I would be like, oh, let me just have a hit of that. Oh, I'm trying to quit. Let me just have a hit. And then it'd be like, well, I'm smoking again. And until I think with anything, with any addiction, you're not going to find success until you hit that rock bottom kind of ready. Now, with smoking cigarettes, rock bottom isn't like, like you're not laying in the street homeless and stuff. You know what I mean? Like rock bottom with cigarettes is like you kind of get to the end of that pack and you just know. And this is how it was for me. I hit the end of the pack and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to buy anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. But I sure didn't make it easy on myself, because that was a Thursday. I had my last smoke on a Thursday, went to work Friday. And then Saturday, my friend and I decided to go to Wine Fest. Now, I don't even drink much anymore either. At the time, we were drinkers. We'd go out on the weekends. I didn't really drink during the week too much, unless I was meeting friends or whatever. But we went to Wine Fest, and I've never been a big wine person, but you go there and you're trying to find these different wines, and you pay an entry fee, then you can taste wines at every location. There's hundreds and hundreds of wines to taste. We got loaded on wine. I don't recommend it. It was like a 90-degree day. It was awful. People were smoking in the designated areas, but obviously, cigarette smoke wafts through. And when you are a new person who quits smoking, one of the weirdest things is, and granted, this was early, so it wasn't quite the way it would be, but still, when you smell it, so sweet. You're like, oh, I just want that so bad. And on top of adding being, on one from having a lot of wine, it was a very difficult proposition. And as the weeks went on and I was without smoking, and like I would be in my car at a stoplight and I'm facing, you're at a stoplight and you're facing, say you're facing east and somebody is on, like the northeast corner of that intersection, standing outside of a building, smoking a cigarette 100 yards away, and you can smell it. And I don't understand how that works, but you never smell better. You never like, you can smell the cigarette smoke from miles away. And you're like, huh? Huh? It's just rough. It truly is, you know? And like it gets to the point now where like more and more and more people don't smoke, but then people will vape, which is weird. And I don't, it's like you hope that it's healthier, but there's probably something that is just too good to be true type thing. And Sean says, my middle sister still smokes. I got her doing low carb, but I can't get her to quit smoking. I'm trying though. Yeah, I mean, I was going to the gym in 2010. I started going to the gym. I was going every day. And I come out and light up a cigarette. I'm like, well, this isn't, I'm like doing cardio. I'm like, yeah. And I come out, whoo, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, that's just, something's got to give. And Sean says that caffeine quiets the voices in his head. I understand that. And we've got Sarah's Joyful Journey and Easy Peasy Keto here. Make sure to follow everybody. Show them the love that you show me because it's greatly, greatly appreciated. As a creator, the more people that follow you and interact with your content and show their appreciation for your content, it just means the world to us. It truly, truly does. Yes, it's a roast. Andy says, sorry, I got to spend some time with Susan before I leave. I'll catch you in the replay. All right, dear. Tell Susan we love her. Hit the thumbs up. We love you for sure. Yes, that's our thoughts exactly. Tell Susan hello for us. And there's no reason to not have an abundance mindset. I think some creators kind of look at this whole thing as, I need to get my subscribers. I need you guys to watch my stuff. Don't come into my stuff talking about your stuff. And that's not the way I want to be. This is a community. We're here to support each other. I mean, that doesn't mean I don't want you to come in and share a link to every video you had in the last 6 months. But I mean, I also don't, it's like you don't want to clog up the chat. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if you come in and you're excited about a new video you just put out, let us know. We'll talk about it. We'll make sure people watch it because that's what the point of this whole community is to share the love, learn something, and to support each other because that's where our success comes from is this community. A lot of people, the only way they have any support is from this community. A lot of people live in homes where spouses aren't doing what they're doing and their spouses aren't necessarily trying to, not necessarily trying to, hinder their success, but they're not doing it along with them and they're still bringing, cookies and cakes into the house or having pasta or the things that that they want. I mean, that's like, our kids come over and our kid will bring fresh baked baked bread that she made or something like that. It's like, and sometimes you'll have you'll have a little bite of it or something and it's not a big deal. Or, but at the same time, you're like, you realize what we're trying to do here. And I understand that you're, it's thoughtful and you made bread and you want us to try it. I understand. But like, you understand what we're trying to do here. And I understand that you may not find value in that, but we do. And this is important to us. And I think that's, there's a lot of people out there who are in relationships or have households. It's like we have a toddler, our granddaughter's in the house. And, while she is fundamentally a low carb kid, at least for us, like I pack her lunches, we pack her lunches every day. She gets some berries, some fruit. She likes grapes. But we pack chicken and bacon and beef and, like low carb wraps sometimes and eggs. And that's what she takes for lunch. Now she gets ketchup and stuff, but I mean, she's 6. And, you want to, she doesn't eat. The problem is getting her to eat. She's so skinny, but we try to feed her. And then she comes home and her lunchbox is like not empty. And we know it's because she's sitting there chit-chatting and talking because she's a social butterfly. I have no idea where she gets that from. But she's just a chatty Cathy. She loves to talk. She loves to be around people. And eating is not her number one priority. And that's a very difficult thing for someone like me to understand because eating was always my number one priority. If I'm making food and I'm thinking about the next meal. And for her, food is just like, well, it's something between play. It's something that I have to do. It's something that if I don't do, then my tummy hurts. And she'll, Paul, my tummy hurts. Have you eaten? No. Well, eat, It's like you can't force them to eat because I don't want to give her a complex. I don't want to make her be like, I'm not trying to make her clean plate club, but at the same time, like, you're going to be this tall forever if you don't eat something. You know what I mean? It's a struggle with toddlers. She's 6 or whatever, so probably not really a toddler, but she's still my little one, and she's in the house and like, we'll be like, we're going to have Sunday dinner. What do you want? Mac and cheese and Costco pizza. And I'm like, oh. Because she's 6, like, but so I mean, we all have those things in life, those distractions, and we do our best to kind of overcome those. But, that's why for me, perfection is not an option. It's consistency over perfection because, we have those people in our life, like our grandchildren, our children, our spouses. If they don't do what we do and we're fighting that battle every day, overcoming what they bring in the house, or, those of you who are cooking 2 meals, you're cooking yourself a carnivore meal, a keto meal, or whatever meal, and you're making them mashed potatoes and gravy and Salisbury steak or whatever. Like one of the things that helped us be successful in 2016 is when we made the decision to go keto, our kids went keto too. The 2 kids that lived in our house at the time went keto too. They did it kicking and screaming, but they did it. And, I mean, we had a rule. You eat what we cook. You eat what we bring in the house. If you have your own money, then you can buy your own stuff. If I'm stepdad to them. So if they were to go out with their father, they could go and eat whatever they wanted. They get to make those choices. But at home, we're only going to cook this. And Shannon and I went together. Shannon and I started together. We've been doing this together. And a lot of times if we go off track, we go off track together. We cheat together. We do whatever together. You know what I mean? We do the things together. So when we're successful together. But we're with each other 100%. And I understand that most people don't have that. And that is why this community is so very important. Because we're the only support some of you have. We're the only encouragement some of you have. So I'm definitely not going to hamstring anybody's success by thinking that I'm more important than any of the other creators in this community. And I don't care if you have 2 subscribers or 2 million subscribers. I'm going to support you. I've got my pom-poms. I'm cheering you on. We're doing this together, damn it. And thank you, Evelyn. I appreciate that. She said that my electrolyte video was good. Cindy's late as usual. There's no excuse. Just, you're grounded. Good morning, dear. I'm glad you're here. Everybody's saying hello to Cindy, even though she is late. Cindy, I was up till about 3 this morning trying to finish a book. Just got it. Well, you know what? You're retired. Live your life. Read that book. Sleep in. Do the thing. Have a good time. Brian Doyle says, rock bottom with cigarettes with me was passing out driving on the highway from heart attack. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to go there, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah. But I'm glad you're here, Brian. I'm glad that you made it through that. And I'm glad you're here with us and sharing your journey and sharing in our journey and brightening up my morning by being here. And I appreciate you very much. And Sean said, must have been a great book. It was C Spot Run. Anyway, Jeff is in the house. Good morning, Jeff. I'm so glad you were here, listening in chipmunk mode to catch up. All right. Bonita is here. I'll talk about iodine. I never started. Can you tell me the benefits of using it? Well, it just depends on where you live. Like especially people here in the Midwest, we have like a lot of iodine deficiencies. There's not a lot of natural sources of iodine, and people have thyroid issues, goiters, and things like that could come up if you have lacking of iodine. I'm probably not the best person to kind of give you that information. I would go ahead if somebody wants to put a video from Dr. Barry talking about iodine and its benefits. Please put that in the chat. That would be great for Bonita, because it's just not my field of understanding. I just kind of take it because Dr. Barry says I should, and I live in the Midwest, and I can buy it, and I can put a few drops in my coffee, and it doesn't make a difference. So, yeah. Danny's here. My buddy Danny. I'm so glad to see you. How are you doing? He says cigarette smoke is nasty. I hate when people smoke in the portalettes on the job sites. Yeah, I'll tell you, smoking is gross, but I miss it so much. That's one of I miss the act of smoking. I miss going and having a nice cigar, because we have a lounge here. It's called Nikki Blaine's. It's like a cigar bar. You can go in. It's like downstairs. It's all leather furniture. You just go and sit down and order a cocktail, like a martini or a nice glass of like really old brandy, like 150-year-old Grand Marnier. You just sit back, relax. You used to love that because it makes you feel kind of like special. You kind of feel important. And I miss, going to have a nice cigar with the guys. But I haven't done that because, I'm not trying to sabotage myself. And if I have a cigar, I'm going to want a cigarette. And I've gone over 15 years now without a cigarette. So I'm not going to do that now. But I understand where you're coming from, Danny. But I miss it. I have dreams about smoking 15 years later. I'll have dreams that I'm smoking cigarettes, and I'm like, man, I've gone so long without smoking. What am I doing? That's addiction. That's something to keep in mind for sure. Sean, it is good. Didn't quite finish it, but I will after this. Okay. CNC females in the house. Good morning. Yeah, I hate being downwind as someone smoking. Sometimes it just smells so good. Oh my goodness. And I'll tell you what's really weird now, and not to get into a political discussion here, but like, how can you be on the highway? I'll be on the interstate driving on the highway, 60 miles an hour, and a car passes you, and you can smell what they are partaking in, the aroma of what's going on in that car. And they'll pass me, so they got to be going 65, 70 or whatever, right? Or just, making up numbers here. But they're like, and I'm like, how? How is that a thing? Now, whether or not you for legalizing it or not has no bearing on this conversation. But it's just this, it's such a new phenomenon that I'm like, what? Crazy. But I understand. Sorry if I woke you up, Cindy. Well, sorry, not sorry. Glad you're here. I'm glad she's here too. Let's see. He says, never smoked even with 3 of my parents and 2 grandparents that were smokers. Only one of my brothers smokes. Well, that's like my father, my grandfather, my stepfather. We're all alcoholics, and I'm not one. So, I mean, that's a definite bonus, right? I think I did smoke because my friends smoked, my grandma smoked, my mom didn't smoke. But like when my grandma and mom would leave to go to the store or whatever, I remember I would take the cigarette butts out of her ashtray and smoke what was left. And especially when you first start, you get that like rush, you're like, woo, and that goes away. Yes, good morning, Danny. I missed you, my friend. I'm glad you're here. And he says, by the way, chores, feeding dogs, making the warden's coffee, starting laundry, and most important, making my breakfast. Yes, yes. Well, I hope the warden is awake and hope she's having a good day. Tell her we love her and that we miss her and all that stuff. I mean, well, she's probably not going to be awake for a few more hours, I imagine, but you know. John Gugahan says, I kind of felt the same way about smoking. I started keto in 2019, trying to improve my health, but was still smoking. Finally, 2 years ago, January 1st, I quit smoking and haven't had a cigarette since. That's amazing, John. I'm glad you're sharing that with us. It's just one of the, it is, you just have to be ready with anything, like whether you're going to start keto or if you're just trying to make, start any journey, you have to be really, truly ready and committed to make that first step. Because you can't go into it like half-assed, or if you're not wholeheartedly into something, it's going to be that much harder to find success. Shelly King is in the house. So glad you are here, my friend. Oh, Robin, have a good day. Be safe. Have a good time, and we'll see you soon, dear. Oh, let's see. Cindy says, I made all the stuff for those not on keto, just didn't eat it. Yeah, it's just, yeah, and I've done that too. It's just a little bit, not very much. Like, it's like when I'm fasting and I'm cooking dinner or making food for Chandra or the girl, like you're trying not, like you got to remember to not lick your fingers or whatever. Yeah. CNC female, no subscribers. Do you have a channel? You putting out content? We can get you some subscribers for sure. Let us know. And he said, okay, I'm back. This is more important than what we were going to do. Star Trek movie up on Paramount Plus, Section 31 is streaming, but we're watching it while we eat lunch later. Okay. Well, we love you both. And I'm glad that you are back here with us. I mean, quality time with the significant other is always very important. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be in the internet now forever with this live. So you have, in theory, all the time to make this up. Spend time with Susan. Get some of them cuddles in. Let's see. People asking Cindy how her book was. I would sleep in some more if some people weren't doing a live stream in the early morning. You know what? I don't call you and wake you up, okay? I could. I think I have your number. I think we swap numbers now. I think we're like friends in real life now, I think. You know what I mean? Karen says, sorry, Cindy, I can't think of a channel name. I thought you did several lives together. Yeah, I don't understand either. He says, I heard you earlier, so thanks for pimping my March 8th Hungry Horn meetup. Yes, that's what we do here. I'll be there. I want hugs from everybody. The book is good. Almost finished. I got one from the Book of the Month Club. Yeah. Good morning. Lindy is here. I'm so glad you are here. Jimmy's here. Howdy. I've been carnivore for a year and a half. I'm 77 years old, male, and various electrolyte formulas have not helped my leg cramps. So which ones have you tried? I think salty is kind of one of the better ones, I think. And maybe, I mean, maybe even on top of the electrolyte drinks, maybe adding in some supplements too might help. This is the link for the iodine video for Dr. Barry. Go and check him out. He did give me a shout out this week. Holy moly. I'm going to see if I can play that for you guys. I'm going to see if I can share this. Hold on. Excuse me. I'm going to share this to and upload it to my computer, and I'll share it to you guys. He embellished a little bit, and that's okay. But I was shocked the fact that he even know who I was. I mean, he does follow me on X, Twitter, or whatever. But it's just not one of those things you would, anticipate somebody knowing who you are. I mean, he should, but should. I am a creator in this space, but at the same time, like, it's just, you don't anticipate that being a thing. Yeah, that video is uploading. Watching its progress here. Okay. If you do have one, we will get you subscribers, at least a few. That's what we do here. I still think a fresh lit cigarette smells good. I honestly do. That's not something, it should, but you know what I mean? It does. It really does. And I mean, that's a weird thing to think about, but it does. Here's one. Evelyn says there's a lot. Another Dr. Barry iodine video. Tanya's in the house. Good morning. Andy says about the iodine. I used to go to plasma, and they used iodine to sterilize my arms. So that was twice a week of iodine. I get to my coffee. Plasma not happening so much anymore. I don't know. Does that even really make a difference with that? All right, I'm gonna play this quick video. This is it's like less than a minute, but here's a video I want to play for you guys. This is Dr. Barry giving me a shout out on his live the other day. I did send a $5 super chat, but I wasn't anticipating this. This was the last thing that I was actually anticipating him doing at all. So here's this video.
KetoSimple. Hey, my friend, the more I dig into nutritional labels, the less shocked I get, the more skeptical I become. And let me tell you guys, if you're on X, Twitter, you need to follow KetoSimple because he will grab just a packaged food at the store. He even does this with keto foods. They come in a plastic wrapper that say keto on the front. Hint, that's not really keto. And he'll dig into them. He'll even call customer service and say, I don't see your carb count doesn't match what it should be. Why is that? And then he'll make a video about it. I think he does it on YouTube. Yeah, he does it on YouTube too, but you need to follow KetoSimple. You're still eating packaged food because he digs into it and he tells the truth.
Like I said, he embellished a little bit there, but I mean, I think the sentiment is very well. It's like a very, very awesome endorsement from from Dr. Barry. So that shocked me because I sent that super chat, not anticipating anything. I got in the car, I'm listening as I'm going to the post office, and I get to the post office, and he starts talking, I go and I had to clip it and send it to people. I'm sure some of you got that in Messenger, and you were like, okay, nerd, but I mean, things like that, they're exciting, and Sean says, smells like stinkweed. You are not wrong. But just to me, like, it is hard to understand, like, if you were never a smoker, like how it does smell. Andy says, I put your guys' channels in my description when I mention you in my videos, all about loving on my community members. That's 1000%. In my videos, I put your names, but I don't always think it links it because it's just kind of automatically starting over when I do it from here, from StreamYard. So it doesn't really do that, but I try to do what I can do, Cindy said, I had someone tell me about driving down the highway with her windows down a bit, and the car in front of her threw a cigarette butt out the window. It came in her back window and burned her baby. What? That is crazy. Oh my goodness. I've had it come out my front window and in the back window, and like I had to pull over and try to find it. I've had that happen before. Or what happened most of the time is I would roll my window down to put my cigarette out, and I'd roll my window back up. And I know it's hard to believe, but there was a point in time where I had hair, and it was long, and it would get caught in the window, and you didn't realize it until you're driving. You go to do like this, and you're like, ah! Look who it is. Look at the cat drug in. It's Mr. Chris Cookin from Chris Cookin, Nashville, ladies and gentlemen. Let's kick the tires and light the fires. That's right. I'm glad you're here, my friend. How are you and your lovely wife and your little pooper dog? Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? I don't mind the smell of cigarette smoke, but the smell of weed. I don't mind either, to be honest with you. But I mean, I grew up different than everybody else. So, I mean, there's a difference. You know what I mean? Evelyn says, talking about smoke, we just got the new Redmond smoke salts. Haven't used them yet. Need a good steak to try them on. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of their stuff. They sent me some stuff to try. I just have never got around to using it. Because, I mean, really for me anymore, like, it's hard to use anything but salt. I know I'm boring. CNC female said, that happened to me a lot in the 70s and 80s in Cincy. I was a kid in the back seat. Oh, my goodness. I remember going on road trips with my grandparents and my mom, and we were in this big Continental. So, like, it was a big, huge, white Lincoln Continental in the 80s, the mid 80s. And it was like a living room on wheels. And I remember, like, my brother and I were both in the back seat. Like, we'd have our legs and our knees in the floorboard, and we'd be asleep, school desk style, like this in the back seat. My mom sitting in back there, and my grandma and her boyfriend chain smoking in the front seat, windows up, eyes are on fire, and like that's just completely how much different the times are now. One, we probably should have been in car seats even at that age, and the smoking in the car, you know what I mean? It's just, Danny said it's been a rough few months, but I think things are on the upturn. Well, I'm glad you're here. And if you ever need anything, just let us know. We're always here to at least listen to what's going on. People saying hi to Chris and Ash and Mel. All right, John. He's like, I'm going to watch church online now. Have a great day. Well, thank you, Mr. Gougan, for being here. I truly appreciate you, your love, your support. And we'll see you soon, my friend. Sean says, my grandfather and dad were both alcoholics. My dad is currently paying the price of that with cirrhosis and not being able to move on his own. Excellent motivation to not drink in excess. I mean, we hardly ever drink anymore. Really, if it's going out, like we'll go to the comedy club and they'll do like, you have to have like 2 items or whatever. It's like you can get chicken fingers or you can have like a glass of whiskey or something. And like, you know what? Let's have a glass of whiskey. That's fine. I mean, is it the best for us? No. But it's also, how many times are we going to the comedy club a year? 2, 3 times? We go to the comedy club more now than we go to the movies. We used to go to the movies. They're not putting out movies anymore. There's comedians that we love now. They're coming to our town and go see them in person. It's about the same length of time as going to the movies, you know what I mean? Like 2, 3 hours. Costs a little bit more, but All right. Cindy needs somebody for Friday night. Somebody step up to the plate. Say that you will come on and talk with Cindy. Share your story. She's the best. She'll make you feel right at home. And CNC female says, watch the cracker video recipe yesterday. Happy you made that with egg white powder that has lecithin in it. Yeah, because you don't have to whip it to heavy stiff peaks and stuff. So the soy lecithin or the lecithin in it doesn't impact it as much. That's cool. Sonny's in the house. Good morning, my friend. How are you doing? I have the cream cheese out to make those crackers. Thanks. Yeah, I don't like the lecithin stuff, but I know lots of people ended up with it, so I'm trying to use it in places where it won't hurt anything. Yeah. Yeah. Smoke salts. Good morning. These early people, right? Chris said that salty for leg cramps is the only one that solved it for him. I do. I just ordered myself some more salty. I ordered 2 bags of the clean slate and a bag of the cherry chill. That's on its way. Hopefully, I'll get it by the. It'll be here by the time I get back from hanging out with Chris, I'm sure. People saying hello to Lindy because she's the best. Let's see. Brian's in the house. Good morning, my guinea pig. How are you doing, my friend? Barbara said I saw that shot out. So cool. Yeah, I was shocked with that. Shelly King. Good morning, Lindy. No kidding. He starts live at 4:30 a.m. my time. We'll go back to sleep, okay? After the Element debacle, I saw a brand said they had new electrolytes and they spelled it salty. So I asked about their flavor carrier. They said they do, but they're trying to get it replaced. Yeah, and I think, and the thing about any of this with maltodextrin, I think that it is such a small amount that for most of us, it's not a huge issue. And even for me, when Element came out and told us that there was maltodextrin in their stuff, I made a video saying, you know what? I mean, if you want to avoid it because you just don't want to use maltodextrin, I support that. But when they were telling us that it was like 4 milligrams, I'm like, that's not going to really impact most people. The average person is not even going to notice that. And then, the whole debacle happened. But that was more of that had nothing to do with maltodextrin of itself. Maltodextrin to me wasn't the issue. It was the disclosure methods and the amount differences, and they weren't really forthcoming. Those were kind of the issues for me. And I understand that a lot of these companies have to use something to get their flavors across. And I know that it's like with anything, like whether it's maltodextrin and electrolytes, natural flavors. We've seen recently the talk about people getting upset with the type of tallow that like Buffalo Wild Wings uses, or like what type of tallow is Steak and Shake going to use, because they've been in the news as of late from how they are going to March 1st switch over to utilizing tallow in their fryers over seed oils. And people are still like saying, well, it's probably not going to be good enough. And I'm thinking to myself, we want to see change. We want to see change, and we want to see things going in the right direction. And we have to be realistic about it. For the average person, the maltodextrin in those products is not a big deal. Now, I understand that me saying that is kind of heresy in our community, but I'm saying our community has to understand, in order to grow this community, to help the most people we can, we have to kind of learn to overlook certain things. And maybe not for us. I mean, that's always going to be your choice. For you get to make that decision. Does maltodextrin bother you? And you get to choose with your wallet and your purchasing power on what you utilize and what you don't, whether you go to BW3s or you go to Steak and Shake or wherever you go. You get to make those choices. But I think when it comes to being vocal and talking to people, we're trying to help, and we're trying to be in front of a lot of people who need our help, whether they realize it yet or not. We have to realize the perception that they're coming into us with. They're coming into this perception of 100 years of trusting their doctors, 100 years of trusting that everything they've been told was told to them as the truth, because and most of it, people were they were telling us how to be healthy coming from what they thought was the right place. But now the status quo is changing. The paradigm is shifting. And we have to understand that while we understand and we are digging into the minutia, going down the rabbit holes, that if we want to help the most people, we have to fight the most important battles. getting people to understand how important electrolytes are, how important the proper human diet is, how important it is to try to avoid seed oils. And doing so, we can't sit there and bog them down with the minutia of, well, yes, tallow is good for you, but not that tallow. Or electrolytes are good for you, but not that electrolyte. It's like I understand, when I made that video yesterday, I was like, a bulk of what electrolytes are on the shelf, the liquid, the major players aren't really, they're not good enough. But I did throw up, I think it was like 5 or 6 different brands that are out there. I'm affiliated with one of them, but that doesn't mean that that's going to be the one that somebody may choose. You have to give people options and let them, let them make choices for themselves. And I think we have to understand that moving the needle, we can't be so confrontational about every single tiny thing. Like somebody's going to go start carnivore, but you're going to berate them for getting their rotisserie chicken from Costco because there might be a thimble full of sugar on the entire chicken. Or they may have rubbed it down with a seed oil. Is that optimal? No, it's not. But is it better than them going and just saying, you know what, I'm going to go to the drive-thru and get a Big Mac instead because you guys are stressing me out? Yes. And I think that's the important piece of this community, is that we have to support each other in our own decisions, whether it's maltodextrin, seed oils, eating out, not eating out, how important something like the quality of the tallow at a restaurant is. And yes, when we get the bulk of the people to where they need to be, then that's an argument. But I think getting people started on their journey is the most important piece of the puzzle right now, and not confusing them, stressing them out with the tiny details that we didn't get day one. I started with net carbs. Let them start with net carbs. You can say 20 total carbs, but when you're like someone like I was and ridiculously food addicted, carb addicted almost beyond repair, and I'm going through the grocery store and I'm trying to figure out total carbs, net carbs, and I look at cauliflower, and cauliflower rice has whatever total carbs. I'm like, I can't even eat this. What can I eat? And you're stressed about this new life choice that you've made, and it seems so impossible to figure it out. And then you come to a community for assistance, and everybody's telling you something different, and people are yelling at you and saying, well, you're stupid for eating this, and how dare you use this, and I don't understand why you would think that we can't do that. We just can't. Because people are going to just walk away. Think if you would have come into this community and people weren't open and caring and supportive with you, would you have stuck around? If I didn't find how great 2 keto dudes were, and hearing their realistic stories, and Carl talking about, one night out he had done it because he was a musician and he had performed at a wedding or something like that, I think. This is like 9 years ago. I'm trying to remember this. But then like he made a stop at Taco Bell and got stuff he shouldn't get. And I'm like, that's relatable. That's probably going to be something that happens to me, or would happen to me, and has happened to me. We can't take the human out of this. We can't take the imperfection out of it. We can't expect ourselves from everybody else. If you've dialed in your health journey to a pinpoint accurate state where you know exactly down to the gram of everything you're going to do, and you know that the 2 drops of seed oil is going to throw you into an inflamed state, and you're going to be down for the count for 3 days, you have to understand that you're the exception, not necessarily the rule. And I just think that I can't talk about it enough, is we're the front lines. I was talking about this very thing last night in our group chat with Victor and Chris. And again, not to talk about politics, because I don't think politics has a place here, but we know that behind the scenes there's moves to ban dyes, and they're trying to do seed oil stuff, and they're trying to do this, that, and the other. But we have to maintain some semblance of sanity. We have to remember, to the general average person on the street, the things we talk about in this space probably sound insane. And we have to keep that in mind when we're talking to our friends, our loved ones, people who aren't in the know, people who aren't in this community, regardless if they've seen your journey or not. They're seeing your progress, they're seeing your transformation, but that doesn't mean that what you're doing truly lights up the brain. Because how many times have you been through somebody and see somebody go on a diet, and that diet works, but that diet lasts 6 weeks, and then they're right back where they started? But that's not what we do here. Most people who truly come into this community, it transforms into a lifestyle. It's no longer a diet. This is just who we are. And that's difficult for the average person to understand. Even when I started, I had the mentality of, oh, when I get to this point, I can do this. And when I get to this point, I can do this. But I hadn't learned yet that this lifestyle was going to change me from the inside out. So often people come into these keto, carnivore, whatever it is, hoping to change themselves from the outside in. That's what people want. People want to see a change on the outside without ever understanding the fact of the ramifications of the change that's going to happen on the inside. I've had friends. I had a friend that I went to high school with. Now, in high school, we were acquaintances at best. And she was a big girl. There's no getting around it. She was a big girl. And after high school, I never saw her again until she hit me up on Facebook, and she was like, "Oh, hey, do you remember me?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "I would have remembered you." She was thin, blonde, beautiful. Like, why wouldn't I remember you? You know what I mean? I mean, not to sound sexist or anything like that, but like, you see somebody and like it just doesn't look like anybody you ever seen in your life. And I'm like, I tend to think of myself having a good memory for people. I may not remember your name, but I'll see you and know we've hung out before, things we've done together. Did we go see that movie? Did we go to this concert? I saw you at whatever. I saw you at so-and-so's house. And I didn't know who she was, and the name didn't ring a bell. It had been 30 years. Until finally she finally sent me the picture of her from high school. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I know who you are. But she changed herself from the outside in. She'd been married, 3 kids, I think. Went and had surgery, lost all the weight, got to skinny beanpole size. Husband left her. He didn't want a skinny wife. He wasn't prepared for that. So we have to keep all of this in mind when we're trying to help people. Now that's a lot. And that's a one-off case, but it's probably not that one-off. But we have to understand that once you get into this lifestyle, you realize you're going into change from the outside in or from the inside out. Even though when you get here, your focus is from the outside in. I'm okay. I'm okay. How are you, Jerry? Thank you for being here. Brian says, cracking open the box number 2 of Kleenex since Friday. I get that. We've got a 6-year-old, so she's always kind of bringing something around, and something's always kind of around. Like, I never quite feel like I ever get over everything. There's always kind of something lingering in the wings because 6-year-olds are gross and they don't wash their hands. Like, we have to ask her if she goes to the bathroom, did you wash your hands? Yeah. Okay, do it again. Fine. So we're always kind of something circling around us because we are with her so much. We pick her up and drop her off at school. So she's with all those rugrats and it gets right into our car and brings it right to us. She's like, here, Paul, have the plague. But I mean, it is what it is. Most things only last for like 24 to 48 hours. Yeah. Yeah, he says he drinks at least one Relight every morning. Yeah, Relight's pretty good. We like it. I have Relight in the house. We have Element. We've got Salty. We've got all of them. We've got Liquid IV. You know, I've got Perfect Keto electrolytes. We've got all of them in the house. We utilize all of them. They all have different flavors. They all have different concentrations of electrolytes. Liquid IV kind of a waste, but Chandra likes it, so we buy it. We get it at Costco, and I do like the peach flavor. Doesn't have any magnesium in it, which is weird, but I mean, you know, it tastes good. I'm still waiting on Salty to have grape, because every once in a while I'll pick up a couple of grape Powerades. I know Powerades are not great, but I like grape, and Salty doesn't have grape. Okay, are you hearing me, Chris? You hearing me, Pam? All right. Nobody else understands that hearing me, Pam thing. And maybe if we meet in person, I'll explain that to you, but I'm not explaining it online. Let's see. People are saying hello to each other. People taking magnesium capsules in addition to mineral salts, keto chow fasting drops. People saying hello, hello, hello. Andy says, I haven't gotten cuddles in over a week because of her being sick. She's on the couch and I'm in bed. Let's see. People saying that's awesome. Lindy said that's awesome. Watching my subscribers quadruple. If my subscribers quadrupled, I would hit my goal of the year of trying to hit. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. If they quadrupled, I'd hit 20,000, and I would probably poop your pants. I did hit about 120 subscribers from that shout out, so that was awesome. Sonny said he missed that. She missed that live that day. Rick says that's big time. I am seeing Dr. Barry in person on Tuesday, so we'll see if he recognizes me. If he knows who I am in person, and not just a yellow beard and glasses. Not that like this doesn't give that away, but you know, I'm not jaundiced in real life, so there's that. Lots of new people. Yeah, meet and greets. Yvonne is in the house. Good morning, everyone from Texas. I quit smoking in 2011 because I couldn't stand the smell of my hair and clothes. That's the thing, is that you don't even realize that you smell bad until you quit. Like, that's how it was for me, right? I mean, early in high school, we would come home from a concert, and you take your clothes off to go to bed, and you get up in the morning and picked up that shirt, and it smelled like everybody else's cigarette smoke. Like when you could still smoke like in arenas and stuff, you know? But that didn't seem to be a thing that would be anything that I was used to. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't care. JJ's in the house. Good morning, y'all. JJ, I'm glad you're here, my friend. How are you doing, buddy? People are saying good morning to Yvonne, JJ. Andy says, my nephew spent 6 months in the county jail because he threw a cigarette out the window and it came back. Oh my, and burned the baby. Oh my goodness, that isn't crazy. That's like, I understand like the idea of it, but like you shouldn't throw it out the window. But that's like such a fluke. Oh my goodness. Chris says, we're trying to wake up, and yes, tomorrow the dog is all yours. Keto Wagon's in the house. Good morning. Thank you for being here. They convicted him child abuse, never touched and loved the baby, but nope. Mama left and we haven't heard from her. Oh, that's crazy. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. I'm not ignoring y'all, hitting the shower. All right. Well, enjoy yourself. Be safe. Hope it's nice and warm. Becky says, which flavor of smoked salt from Redmond's Relight would anyone recommend? I haven't tried them, but I imagine they're all pretty good. And I guess they probably have a chicken, a beef, and different things of pork. And I imagine that plenty of people in here are going to have a lot of opinions on this, and I just don't have those. I just don't have the experience. They sent me a whole set. I just haven't had a chance to use them. We just use salt. We're boring here. You know what I mean? We're boring. Yeah, very quirky set of circumstances, and that's just really rough. Karen says, it's such a shame I have 2 smoked salts from Redmond's, and they will be going in the grab. It didn't like. Is anybody around that you that might give them to? Don't throw them away. Those are expensive. I'm sure somebody else might enjoy them. Don't throw them away. Give them to somebody. Donate them. Go to a meetup and bring them with you. Almost always at a table that we have a meetup, we have stuff that people don't want, whether it's open or not. I mean, if it's open, make sure you hey, this is open. We didn't like it. If you want it, take it. If not, we understand. But a lot of times people bring things that they have purchased and didn't like. So that's another thing about meetups. Try to bring some of those to those things because we do that. I've taken a lot of stuff that we didn't like to meetups because we used to do a lot of product reviews on this channel. And most of it we didn't like. Most of it we would kind of suffer through because we spent $10, $12 on it. Well, it's not good, but we spent this money. John Osborne is in the house. Good morning from Canada. Welcome. I've been carnivore for 2.5 years. Lost 45 pounds off all my meds. Fallen off the plan a few times. Right back on the very next day. Good to see everyone. Well, thank you for being here, John. The thing is what I would say is you've done the exact right thing that I would recommend to anybody. Is you've been doing it for 2.5 years. You've lost weight. You've got off your meds. None of us are perfect. None of us are going to be batting 1,000. But as I always say, the best time to restart is right after that meal. If you mess up or you have something, whether it's planned or unplanned, right back on. Not next week, not next month. I messed up. Oh, how could I do this to myself? No, woe is me. Just start. Get back next day, business as usual. That's why if we do go out to dinner or we have planned things. We go out to sushi sometimes. We go out to restaurants where we know it's going to be difficult, but it's a social thing. It's a family thing. It's a special occasion thing. The kids want to go out for their birthday or something and they want to go somewhere. If we indulge, we don't bring the leftovers home. If we're in a situation where we have something in our house, we send the leftovers home with the kids. So the next day, business as usual. So the best way to avoid temptation is to remove temptation from the ability to fall for it. So don't keep it in the house. You're going to go out to dinner once in a while. You know you the best. Let's see. They're great just on eggs. Yvonne likes them on the eggs. Evelyn, I have all 3. Haven't tried them. Yeah, I feel that. Let's see. Cindy talking to Chris. I need you to address a silly comment on my latest video. Or you need to address a silly comment on my latest video. She made a comment about processed food referring to pepperoni, artisan wrap mozzarella sticks wrapped with meats. You got to stop taking the comments to heart. And that's something that we talked about last night in our group chat. Comments are one of the things you need to, especially when you're a new creator, you need to pay attention to your comments. But one of the things that I did, and I told the guys this last night, is one of the two early comments came in on my channel. They're like, ooh, clean your stove. Because if you go and you can see the comments in my early chaffle video. And it's got, 30, 40,000 views or something like that. That's one of the biggest views on my channel. But there's 2 things in there because you can see grease splatters on the stove. It's a stainless steel stove, and keeping it clean is nigh impossible. There's always something you can wipe it down and it's streaked. I don't even know how. I don't care enough to clean the stove for 2 hours. I have other stuff to do. And they were like, clean your stove. I left those comments there for 2 years. So anytime I did anything in YouTube Studio, those comments were staring me in the face. And one day, I just decided, you know what? I'm going to just reply, thank you for watching my content. Thank you, and thank you for watching. And that's how I respond to all comments anymore. Thank you for watching. If you say something nasty, thank you for watching. If you say something nice, I'll respond in kind. I'll respond with something personalized. If you told me something personal about yourself, I'll respond. I'm going to be, I'm a good creator, and I'm at this point I have time to reply to all comments. There will come a time where I do not have that luxury. But for now, I do reply to all comments. I don't delete something unless it's overtly nasty. Just nasty for nasty's sake. But I mean, if you say something that just is rude or whatever, thank you for watching. You still watch my content. Thank you. That's all it deserves. All right, Rick, have a good one. Twin Brookacres is going to start their day. Take care, all. Thank you. All right. Chris is saying good morning to people. Lindy is saying I love the smell of a pipe. I remember going through like the grocery store and people would smoke pipes in the grocery store. You would just be like 3 hours over going, yes. I don't know. There's just certain things that I think it's all about how you grow up. Now you smell like cotton candy and you don't know if it's like body lotion or a vape. People saying good morning to people. Yeah, my sentiment, don't throw them out. Someone will take them off your hands. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I had somebody tell me, somebody tried to that because beef goes through a processing plant, it's processed food. I mean, they literally just cut it into bite-sized pieces or, steaks. I don't think that's not processing as in the same thing as Kraft mac and cheese in a box is processed. You take all the components of a Kraft mac and cheese, you're going to have hundreds of different things that you can't use to make Kraft mac and cheese unless you go through that specific proprietary processing. If you want unprocessed beef, you have a cow. A cow turns into steaks, roasts, hamburgers, whatever. There's a big difference. Hungry He says, I recall a kid walking through the grocery store and seeing folks smoking. They would drop it on the floor, step on it, and put it on and keep. Yeah, I mean, that's how it was when I was a kid. I remember I never flew. I didn't fly before 2001. I didn't take my first airplane ride until 2004. So, 21 years ago. But my grandma talked about smoking on planes. Could you imagine? There's a smoking section on the plane, but you're in a metal tube with circulating air. Hey, Chris, I'll make crackers after I come home on Wednesday. And Yvonne's talking to Chris, making your spaghetti today again without the cream cheese, but we'll make them with small buttons like German spetzel. Oh, that's cool. Ken's in the house. Good morning, Ken. And when Ken's here, Stacy's not that far behind. Karen's off to church. Well, have a good day, Karen. Be safe and enjoy your day. Barbara, the pipe smell. My dad smoked a pipe. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like that's memories, especially like the smell memories. They're hard to get over. Like you can be somewhere and smell something that can you can just drop yourself and know 20 years ago. I remember going to somebody's house and our house smelled like that. Holy crap. It's crazy. Sean, my mom and all my aunts smoked in the house and the car, wherever they went. I hated the smell of smoke. I blame a lot of my allergies and breathing and all the cigarette smoke when I was a kid. I mean, think about not just that, but we're riding around in cars that had leaded gasoline. Growing up, especially Gen X kids, we had a lot of problems. Think about but if you think about the transition from the silent generation to the boomer generation into Gen X into millennials, The silent generation grew up in a lot cleaner of an environment, but more on an unsanitary environment at the same time. And it's like, and then as we learned how to be sanitary, like our environment got dirtier. In the I don't know. It's just like a weird, like we learn things, but then like we do the opposite. I don't know. There's just a lot of weird things to keep in mind. All right, Heath. He's got a jet. Got to move some stuff around the living room before the therapist gets here. Leaving this running so you get your view. Well, I appreciate you, Heath. Thank you so very much. Have a great day. Make sure to give our love to the warden when she wakes up today. Let's see. CNC female. Gotta run. Love the chat. Love the live chats and the Sunday mornings. Making chorizo and eggs. Excuse me. Had to sneeze there. Yes. Making chorizo and eggs with the hubs and stuff this morning. Well, that sounds delicious. Well, enjoy your day. Thank you for being here. We enjoy your company very much. Lindy says, change is happening, but it takes time. These companies are trying, so I will support them. They will get educated. And even if they don't, like, realistically, and I was talking about on Bob's Live on Friday, semi-retired Bob. Somebody will put his channel up there. He's not here, but share him out anyway, right? He was live, and we're talking about the tallow situation. Like, is B-dubs clean? Is it a good tallow? Probably not the best tallow. It's got chemicals in it. It's got stuff to make it last longer. It's deodorized. It's whatever. But should you be eating BW3s every day? No. We eat B-dubs maybe 4 or 5 times a year. Sometimes we don't feel like cooking or whatever, and we'll just order up some and I'll go pick it up and bring it home. And we'll sit and watch TV and eat wings. Or that's our date night, to go get wings and go to the movies. And if we have wings, we might have popcorn. So it's like the crappy tallow, the worst thing we're eating that night? Probably not. We're also having soda with the popcorn, the aspartame. You know what I mean? Like, where do you draw the line? I mean, yeah, you can go complete, lion diet. You can go beef, salt, water. But what's in the water? How are you sure that you're not getting microplastics in your water? Where does it end? There's always something to be concerned about. Something's always making the sky fall. Cindy said, could just be your allergies. Neither of my parents smoked. Out of the 5 of us siblings, 2 smoked. 1 passed away, our only brother, at 49. Oh, that's not... Sorry about that. Let's see. John. The smoked salts are heavy smoked from Redmond's. A lot of people don't like the strength of them. Well, you can always even cut that down, right? Just take like a little bit and mix them with regular salt, and then just also make it go farther. It'll last a lot longer, right? I mean, maybe. Does that sound crazy? Probably does. JJ says, my wife hasn't smoked very much since being in the hospital. I told her she should just go ahead and quit, and she gave me the look. Oh, yeah, I mean, you have to be ready to quit. That's the thing. Our younger sister now has COPD, among other health issues. She finally quit smoking about 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah. My brother's here. What's up? Stopping in to show some support. Just getting out and heading to work. I love you, Leaky. That's my brother, everybody. My younger little brother. He's 4 years younger than me. He's a good kid. I don't see him as much as I want to. Let's see. I saw and reposted a video on a full wine glass in the sink, filling it with water. Healing takes time. Eventually it happens, but it may take a while to get clear. Yeah, that's the thing. The choir is singing and Dustin is preaching. Get it, brother. It's just great to see the companies changing. Period. Yeah, the thing is they're hearing us, and it takes time for a cruise ship to turn around. These monolithic giant companies, it takes them time to change. It's not going to happen overnight. Never happens overnight. And we have to give them a little bit of grace. If they're willing to change from seed oils to tallow but they're not using the best tallow, and we're going to be like, you're terrible, we hate you, then why are they changing in the first place? If the people they're trying to appease aren't happy, then what's the point? And we can't let that be the case. And Sean says that's why GLP-1 medicines are so popular. You don't have to give anything up. You don't have to restrict yourself. All you need to do is take this and lose weight and help your diabetes. Well, I mean, it's such a loaded idea, though, because, like, does it really help you? Is it really doing the work? The jury's still out here. And I think we're going to see, hopefully things don't work out too bad in the negative. I don't want to see anybody going through anything bad. But I've been seeing a growing number of people in our community supporting the use of GLP-1s for specific things. And I think we got to hear them out as well. I think we can't jump to conclusions and think that they're silly or anything like that, because there's people that I care about that are utilizing these things. I have family that are utilizing GLP-1s. Do I think it's better for them to go with a whole food, proper human diet? Of course. Is that going to be something that they do right away? No. Is a GLP-1 something that's better than nothing? I don't know. But it's not for us to say. We just have to show the world that it's possible without GLP-1s. We have to show the world that it's possible to reverse our diabetes. We have to show that it's possible to make these changes. It's possible to be supportive. It's possible that this isn't a fad. It's possible that we can show people that this is sustainable. And it's not that difficult. I mean, I've been doing it almost 9 years. Obviously not perfect. I still haven't reached my goal, but I'm here and I'm still chugging along. Yvonne says, I can relate to the sickness. Our 5-year-old grandson just got over his 5th disease and ear infection. They live with us, and we have to watch out for hubby being only 8 weeks post-transplant. Oh, yeah. It's just one of those things, like, these kids, they don't understand, and they don't care. Why would they care? So I'm always battling something. JJ said I would love a grape salt. I would love a good, like, 80s grape salty, like, and they would even call it 80s throwback and make it grape. I would love it so much. Sean says they would need to bring back grape keto chow. I never got to try it either. Lynette said she may send me someone if she had any, but I don't think she ever had any. So, yeah. And Becky says Thrive Market Ultima has grape. Yeah, but it didn't taste good. I tried it. It wasn't good. I may even have a packet left in the pantry or whatever. I don't think it was good. Absolutely great advice being given. Realistic, a start is always better than not. Yeah, we have to take that first step. And if we're standing there with somebody taking that first step and we're telling them, well, you're taking that step wrong, then they're going to go and sit down again. The menace is still after me. Oh, should have got a duck. American leadership. Thank you. Proud of you. Keep going strong. Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so very much for commenting from over on X. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Lindy says, I love salty, but not a cherry or grape fan. You can have it all. Well, that's the thing. That's cool. I love it. I mean, I got the cherry. The cherry is not my favorite flavor, but it's a different flavor, and I think it's nice. We've got different lemon lime flavors in the house. The cherry's just different. I am a little bit different, but like, I have a very distinct look, but again, you see me out at the grocery store all the time. Beard, bald, glasses. I'm a lot of places. I did try the grape. It was no good, and I love grape flavor. Okay, all right. Well, Cindy, you are the expert. Angie Angie Gracie is in the house. I cannot read today, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies. Woo! Good morning from coastal Mississippi. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you're here, Angie. Thank you. Welcome. Everybody is saying hello to Angie. Thank her for being here. Let's see. Can someone post CNC Females channel again? I can't find it. I don't think she has one. I think she was joking about that. She's like, I don't have any subscribers. I'm like, well, let's get you some subscribers. She's like, well, I don't. She's being sarcastic. Oh, yeah. Yeah. See. There's her channel if you want to subscribe to her anyway. We have a basket of condiments in our break room for miscellaneous things. Yeah. I still sometimes miss Diablo sauce from Taco Bell. That was the best sauce they ever had. That and the volcano sauce. The volcano sauce was like a cheese sauce. It was like a spicy Kraft mac and cheese sauce. It was delicious. Weird, but you know what I mean? I am who I am. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good idea, Cindy. Sub just in case she starts one. She doesn't have any videos yet. Cindy says, I don't take anything to heart, especially in the comments. Yeah, you can't, because you never know if they're real people or not. And Barbara, I hate to miss the rest of the live, but I have to run. I will catch the rest of it on replay. We'll be tuning in tonight for Keto Crusade, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Barbara. Truly appreciate you very much. Andy says, I can't wait till someone complains about my dirty stove or counter. They will. They will. It's just the negativity is the way of the internet. And the thing is like once you get to a certain size, you can't even read the comments anymore because it's almost all bad, even if you're going to miss the good ones. That's the sad part. Cindy says, a negative comment are hearted just like the others. Exactly. Be kind and all. That's right. If you enjoy our channel and want to show your support, visit KetoSimple.shop. All the ways to support us in there. Thank you very much, Evelyn. You're my best friend. My kitchen gets a scrub down before I film anything. I do not. I mean, you know what? Yeah. If I had somebody clean my kitchen, I would probably cook a lot more flipping cooking videos. But it's like cleaning up before, after. And usually I like to stack videos and make more than one recipe at a time. So I'm going to drag everything out. I want to cook a bunch of different things and film it all at once. Then I got like 4 days worth of dishes to do. Ugh, it's just, ugh. That's pretty much what I say to negative ones too. Becky says, ground beef without is considered whole food or one ingredient food. Yeah, I mean, you don't know how many cows is in there, but that's fine. Semi-retired Bob. There we go. Everybody subscribe to Bob. Get him some more subscribers. Cindy says, I would not make it one day on the lion diet. I imagine you would if you didn't think about it as being the lion diet. You said steak, salt, and water, and you were like, well, I'm full today. You know what I mean? Chris here says, I think people want to have the highest quality and cheap and convenient all three. Doesn't work. The only way to truly control what goes in your body is to cook. Even then, you can only do some. Yeah, I mean, how long did I eat, the fresh ground beef from Walmart, not realizing that it had natural flavors? You can't control everything. You're not there at the meat packing plant. You're not there when they're grinding it up. You don't know. Cindy loves smoked salt, puts it on her eggs, just about anything at all. Let's see. Yeah, we read this one. Yeah, things that sneak in and it's not going to be perfect. But thing is like, it's date night. The point of it is to go out, be with your spouse, spend time away from home, doing something that you enjoy doing, going to a movie you may or may not like, or something you anticipated seeing. I think the last time we went out was for Beetlejuice. There just hasn't been a lot of movies to go see. We've been like busy. We have the girl all the time. We do like on Wednesdays, we do try to do things with her, take her to the bowling alley, we go to a restaurant with her, try to do something with her, make her feel special. She's in a situation now where she's not the only child anymore. She's in a situation where there's like 3 other kids, and that's difficult for her. So, and we were talking with our daughter last night. It's like, they're talking about going on weekend getaways and stuff. It's like, well, we can't even do a weekend getaway because Chandra works on the weekends. And then during the week, we have the obligation of the girl. And like we want to go visit Chandra's sister in Wisconsin over spring break. So we would need to take the girl with us, and our daughter's like, well, I don't know. Like, how are we supposed to go do things if we can't take her with us? And then so we're also talking about the Keto Chow 2KK Northern Indiana meetup. It's going to be April the 1st in Mishawaka, Elkhart, Indiana. I think it's probably going to be at Smokin' Fatty's. We had a meetup last year there. Holds about 30 to 40 people. I don't know how many people are actually thinking about coming out. Probably be about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. But it's on a Tuesday, which means Chandra can come. But we got to have someone watch the girl. And, it's just not necessarily fair to the girl to bring her out around all these people she doesn't know. And I know that a lot of you would probably enjoy meeting her, but that's not necessarily our choice to make. So, the logistics of us doing things during the week, yes, we're empty nesters. We have time. We have money, so to speak, because Chandra makes good money. But we have obligations that kind of tie us up at the same time. So, and we have a very good life, and I'm not trying to, be negative or anything like that, but it's just something like we're to a point now where we could go and do something. Like we could get out, like Chandra works most of the time Saturday and Sunday. She picks up Friday sometimes, she picks up Monday sometimes, because they pay extra bonus for her to pick up those days because they're short nurses. But if she didn't pick up a Friday, we could hop on a plane on a Monday morning, fly somewhere, hop on a plane Thursday night, be back in time Friday for, to kind of get things together for her to go back to work Saturday, not use any vacation time, not worry about anything. We go down and visit her parents. We could just go to the beach somewhere, get like a cheap little 2-bed, like a little cheap condo, Airbnb, something. Go get away, just be the two of us for like 4 days. Hop on a plane back. During a week, no vacation time, no, harm, no foul. But we have the girl, and that makes it very difficult for us. Even though we are in a situation in life where that's where we're supposed to be doing these things. I work, but my schedule is dictated when I want to be available. And then even sometimes, like yesterday, I was available for like 9 or 10 hours and didn't get a phone call. So I didn't have any work yesterday. I didn't have any work all week. Any of the days that I was available, I didn't get any phone calls. That's okay. If I don't want to get any phone calls, I'm not available. It's okay. Like I'm going to Nashville for a couple of days this week. I'm just not available till Thursday. It's okay. Again, I will be in Nashville hanging out with Chris and Ash and their pupper. That's the real reason I'm going, is the dog. But we're also going to be meeting up with Dr. Barry, Nisha, Amanda Decker. If you don't follow any of them, we can put their stuff. I know if you don't know who Dr. Barry is, I don't know where you're living. He's got 3.4 million subscribers or something like that. So most people know who Dr. Barry is. Nisha is his wife. They run a farm. They are YouTube celebrities in our niche. Amanda Decker runs a clinic, a low-carb health clinic. She's a nurse practitioner, I believe. She's trying to get into different states. She's in I don't know, I'm making this up, maybe 7 states right now. Indiana is not one of them, so unfortunately she couldn't be my general practitioner or whatever, but, yeah. Let's see, I'm missing these comments. Becky says, I did lion diet for 3 weeks. I gained weight. My ketones plummeted to 0.3. Expected not enough fat. I'm ready to go back to BBB&E. I missed eggs, butter, and bacon. Oh, that sounds awesome. But yeah. Amy says, I know people on GLP-1s for years who have not changed their diet. And yeah. Dr. Boz is actually coming around on GLP-1 thing. So she was pro GLP-1, wasn't she? Because I know that her and Adrian, if you don't follow Adrian, put her channel in here. She's awesome. I love Adrian. She's a sweetheart. And she's taking GLP-1s for some specific things. Not going to say what they are just because I honestly don't know. It didn't make sense to me. But I'm not someone here to say, well, what she's doing is wrong, because it's not me. And she has a well thought out reason behind it. And I'm not the person to tell her that she's wrong, because I don't know. Let's see. Amy says, enter too quick, but friends on GLP-1 who are not changing their diet and not losing weight. Yeah. My aunt is on it, and she's lost a bunch of weight. You know, when I first started this stuff in 2016, we were talking about what I was doing and how to change things, and she was like, she couldn't barely put her own shoes on, entire shoes and stuff. So there's like these issues, and I'm like, there's things that you can do, but it's just difficult to get people to a place where they're ready to commit, or where they're ready to even be able to see that they need to make a change, or that the change is even a possibility. Most people just think, well, this is my destiny. Stacy's here. I'm here finally. I'm watching you on replay today. We will try the transfer to my desktop. Big thank you goes out to James Ortega for rebuilding it. I love you boys for helping this old lady. Well, we're here for you for anything you need. Let us know. We love you dearly. You are such a sweet lady. And I am forever grateful that you're in our lives. Oh, look at that. They're going to see each other on Thursday. Yeah, people think you're snooty. Yeah, I understand that. Valerie is here. Good morning, Valerie. Good morning. Thank you for joining us over on X. I was beginning to think that I get a lot of views on X, but no one ever comments. I'm glad that you guys are commenting over there. Thank you. Let us know your stories. Let us know what's going on over on X. Because right now I have 72 people on X watching. So if you want to, please say something. Say hello. Who are you? Where are you from? How did you find me? I clean my kitchen before I cook. Yeah, I mean, I clean my kitchen, but, it's just, Ash doesn't put up with any shit, so she will have no issues keeping us in line. Let's see. That might be the biggest excuse for not starting a channel. Don't feel like scrubbing my house, kitchen, stove to film videos. And I mean, I see like content creators showing their house, and their houses are a mess. But I don't show my house because it's often a mess. And I'm like, you know what? You get what you get. Like if you could see like around, it's a mess, but you don't see it, and that's okay. You see this mess. This is what you signed up for. This mess. Valerie, darling, does carnivore stop the food noise in my head? I would say that any kind of low carbohydrate thing is going to help. Whether it's carnivore, keto, ketovore, getting into ketosis. Now, again, this is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor or a healthcare professional. I'm not a nurse or anything like that. I'm not certified in any way, but I do have food addiction issues. Got to be over 400 pounds. You don't get there without all the food noise. It does quiet it significantly. At least it did for me, and I know that a lot of others in this chat can speak to that. It does take time. It takes diligence. It takes a desire to do it. It takes, there is a sort of preparedness that it does take. But you've made the first step, and you're here, and you're asking these questions, so I think it's time. I think it is time to make the switch. I think you are ready. I don't know anything about you, but I'm going to guess that you're here and you're asking these questions. So, yeah, I mean, just try to keep it as simple and easy as you can, but you have to understand yourself too. You know you better than anybody else. You've lived with yourself your entire life. You know how you are with food. You know what things you probably should avoid. So keep all that in mind, but stick with us. Ask all the questions you need. We're here for you. Yay, April 1st. So we just need to make sure if Smoking Fatties is going to be okay with that, Amy, and let us know. So I can reach out to Miriam and let her know so we can get it up on Low Carb Events. Becky says, I buy beef trimmings, cut it up, put it on the food processor since I don't have a meat grinder. Yeah, I don't have a meat grinder either. And the hours of editing video after filming. I mean, really, it's not that bad once you get used to it. I mean, I've got over 700 videos on my channel. I'd say half of them are edited, half of them are lives now. Well, probably not half, but most of them are edited content. You have to enjoy editing. You just really do. I mean, if you have money, you can pay someone to edit it for you, but most of us don't have that. So, here we go. Here's all these channels. Be sure to follow them. We got Dr. Barry, Nisha. We have Amanda Decker, a Deckerless Carbs, and Adrian. I did get a shout out. If anybody knows about Ellie, Ellie was on Low Carb Gals or Beef and Butter Gals live the other night, and they shouted me out. That was pretty cool. I mean, I did send them a super chat because I try to support everybody that I can. So I sent them a super chat, told them that I thanked them for sharing their stories and how important that is, and they shouted me out. So that's awesome. So Nourishment Redacted, Steak and Butter Gal, they're all amazing channels. So make sure to follow them and subscribe. Again, I'm not worried about I'm not worried about this, and I'm here to build this community. And the more linked we can be, the better off we're all going to be. We need to learn from everybody, and everybody, whether Adrian's doing GOP1 or Steak and Butter Gal or Courtney Luna or whoever we're talking about here, we all have things to share and things to learn from. So there's so many wonderful channels out there. There is a lot of channels, and probably so many that it can be overwhelming. But that's what we're here for, to take and choose and pick and choose who is there to help us and what we need, and try to support as many as we can. Becky says, I don't take exogenous ketones. Dr. Boz endorses taking exogenous ketones. Now, does she? I know she was at KPL last year, but I didn't necessarily see her talk. Does she talk about? Now, I understand that there's certain kinds of therapies and certain types of circumstances where taking exogenous ketones for a therapeutic reasons is not a bad idea. I think for most of us, if we're making ketones, taking ketones is kind of a waste. It's just like expensive urine or whatever, but it's like, I don't think that we need to do that. I think there are certain instances where I think it can help. And if she is helping others with that process and her people are finding success, I'm not going to dog her on that. Is it expensive? Yes. But if it keeps her people consistent and it keeps the people that she's helping on the right path, I mean, I don't really see taking ketones as a negative outside of the financial burden. But I don't think it's like taking like a lot of vitamins. Like you're taking vitamins, just expensive pee. I just don't. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to dog her, because I mean, she's a doctor. I'm not. So if she sees a benefit, and hopefully it's not just a fight. And I'm not trying to say this to be accusatory by any stretch of the imagination. Even if she's seeing a financial benefit from promoting ketones, like if she's promoting them to her patients and she's getting a financial kickback from the ones they purchase, hopefully she's still promoting them for a beneficial, and she's seeing an actual benefit above and beyond financial. But I don't know her. I don't really follow her content very closely at all. I don't even think I met her at KPL. But like I said, she's out there. If she's helping people, who am I to say she's doing anything wrong? She's part of our community. And like I said, we all have a lot to learn. And Sean Bradley, I just like to look and I see Brad in the name, and I'm like, my brain goes, they say sleep is crucial for healing. I don't know how all of you content creators do it and still get a good night's sleep. I just released my first long form video of 2025 yesterday. And it's because I've been taking a lot of naps. So I do these lives, I make shorts, and I struggle to put content out on a regular basis. Now, I can't speak for anybody else but me, but I've been trying to prioritize sleep and time with Chandra, and I should be doing more content, and that is a focus of mine. But it is difficult, and it can be. Lindy is heading to church. We love you, and I hope you have a great day. Be safe. A brilliant, blessed news and more is here. Good morning, dear. How are you doing? Fantastic. I'm glad to see you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Chris says, Chris is up early. You can start a second channel that's all about decluttering content. That means I'd have to declutter. I don't want to do that. I don't want to clean. Oh, but you're right. There's a million different reasons. There's a million different channel ideas. You don't even have to go into our niche. Like my friend, she started a DIY channel. There's all kinds of channels, you know? Let's see. Jerry says, while I was in the shower, you read the comment from CNC Girl about subscribers tripling. I think she was referring to once this afternoon after I did a live with Cindy today. I am now at 1159. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Fantastic. I'm so glad for you. That's amazing. Keep up the good work. And Chris says, Ash insists on wiping down everything before we film. I'm grateful for her for taking so much time, makes my comment section a little less of a mess. Yeah. Your guys' house looks nice all the time, though. And anytime in the video, it always looks like so well put together. Like, who are these people? Yeah, Chris, we were just talking about you, and we still need grape salty, please. And it needs to be like a 80s throwback grape, like fruit burple grape. And, so I can stop buying like Powerade, because every once in a while I just need a grape flavor. And like Powerade's the only one that I can really find that's a good grape. I tried the Poppy soda. They have a great flavor. It was gross. And I don't like Zevia. Zevia tastes nasty to me. So if you could really make a grape, I would be truly appreciative. I just bought a bag of the Cherry Chill and 2 bags of Clean Slate. So I would really appreciate grape if you could, please. And make it taste better than the Ultima grape. The Ultima makes a grape, but it's gross. So if you can make one that's very delicious, I would be very thankful for you. Chris says, I'm just chilling on a Sunday morning, with orange cream. I got to get through as many of them as I can before they go bad. Testing new batches. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Becky's like, Chris, please bring back the grape flavor. Please. Please for me. I don't know if that's how Becky sounds. Probably not. But that's what she gets right now. You never know what kind of voice I'm going to do for you. You never know. You never know. Chris says, probably not going to happen, even though it was one of my favorite flavors. See? No love. Amy says, we call it smoking fatties, need the time. I think they open at 4, so let's shoot for 4. Maybe, or because they open at 4. We met that they're 4, and we closed it down last time. So let's say between 4 and 5. And then we can solidify that. We'll let Chris is in the chat. He'll know. He'll let Miriam know, because I imagine they're not too far apart at this point. They're probably in the same house when they do live together. That's, not a secret. Chris likes Miriam. You know what I'm saying? I think they even got married. Let's see. Kitchen Witch is in the house. Good morning. Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for being here. Angie says, you just showed up on my feed this morning for the first time. Well, I'm glad to see you, Angie. I hope you're getting some entertainment out of this, at least maybe some information. I appreciate you being here. Let's see. Jerry says, Chris, did you get the email I sent you on Christy's keto journey where I mentioned Keto Chow YouTube in the comments? Oh. Unless you edit obsessively like I do, then it's hours. So there's a thing, like Shannon was getting on to me because there is like she says I cut my videos too much. But I mean, I need to probably slow. I was trying to film 2 videos at the same time, like back to back, and I was short on time. So I was like, and then like where that video cut off. So when you're watching it, that's the end of the video because that's when the battery died. The battery on my GoPro died, and I was like, that's a good place to stop anyway. And you'll probably be seeing more abrupt ends like that to the videos because a lot of times if you end the video with, and now please like, share, subscribe, people are like, they're gone anyway. They're not watching. You're hurting your retention. So I stopped doing that. It's just going to be like and done. That's what it's going to be from now on. Money, you can buy anything in the world with money. That is true. You can buy a lot of things with money. Yeah, Travis told him about that. People are saying good morning to each other. Let's see. Chris, that milkshake was awesome last night. If you know, you know. I know. Oh, I'm special. But not really. I'm more helmet special. But anyway. Oh man. I chose you. I love it. Bride's Biscuits in the house. Good morning, Bride's Biscuit. Thank you for joining us. I'm breaking my fast right now with some bone broth and then some black coffee. Well, that sounds like a fantastic way to break a fast. Yeah, ketones are good for epilepsy and autism. Pretty much good for any neurological condition. I'm kind of curious of how they would be. Like, I know that they've been doing tests, whether they're anecdotal or not, with Alzheimer's and dementia patients with coconut oil and MCTs and such. I wonder how exogenous ketones would impact that. If that would show any like meaningful impact. If you hurt, she offers her family exogenous ketones to help her faster healing. Okay. People saying good morning to Bride's Biscuits. I like biscuits. Let's see. Chris, are you still there for low carb events website? I got my flyer for the meetup in June. Brad Sheenley, you've joined the ranks of Jaqueline and Jevelin. I never know what's going to come out of this mouth, okay? You know? Lowcarbevents.com. Find all the low-carb events in and around the world. It's a worldwide events calendar for anything low-carb. Keto, carnivore, all the things. Yeah, the tough job. Someone's going to do all the testing. Let's see. Jerry says, I lost 1 sub yesterday and hubby and I laughed. Cindy, do you think I'll get up to 4K tonight? If you dig into your analytics, you can see how many subscribers you've lost over the years. Like, I think if I were to dig into mine correctly, I want to say that I'm like, I would have to dig and dig and dig to find that, but I can't remember where it is. You have to like really dig, like, I can't even remember how to get there, but there's a way to get into your advanced mode. Let's see. Members lost. I don't know. I'll have to look it up, but you can see like if every subscriber, whoever subscribed to your channel stayed around, I would be like closer to 10,000 subscribers than I am now, just because of there's a churn. You'll gain some and you'll lose some. You don't even notice it most of the time. Let's see. And if you like this content, please click. Yep. Valerie says, I had weight loss surgery 2.5 years ago. I did great, lost all my excess weight, but in the last 5 months, gained about 10 pounds. I just don't know, don't want to be where I was. And and there's a lot of folks in this chat very real right now that are in your same spot. They had weight loss surgery, they've gained the weight back, they've lost it now, whether it's with keto, carnivore. I think that is definitely something to explore. I think you've come to the right place, and I'm glad that you're here. And there's plenty of people in here who can answer these questions for you. People who have gone through weight loss surgery, like Cindy DeManch. She's been through weight loss surgery. You can follow her channel. Make sure, Cindy, to put your channel in there so Valerie can follow you. She may not be able to see your comments, but if you come over, Valerie, over to YouTube, you can definitely see that because Cindy does not have Twitter. Let's see. Let's see. I need to learn a lot of them, but we are doing a DaVinci Resolve tutorial on Tuesday. So basically teaching for those of who were using CapCut how to utilize DaVinci Resolve. At least it's going to be like a getting started tutorial, kind of how to get yourself started, how to basically kind of edit a basic video. Nothing fancy, just getting you started from my understanding. That's the best way to kind of get you guys going. Let's see. You are the specialist. That's how Shell and I say you're extremely special. That's 100%. That's great, Cindy. That's amazing. Nothing can stop us now. I'll show you how. I'm at 92 subscribers since October. Everybody go over and follow Amy. She is the bestest. Everybody make sure you hit the thumbs up. Help Dustin out. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up. Follow everybody in here. Yes. You want to follow Cindy DeManch, you can follow Cindy DeManch over on YouTube. If you are watching over on Twitter, I have 106 total people watching right now. Most of you are watching over on the Twitter places. Evelyn is sharing out Amy's channel. I love it. You can go into your let's see, customization. Let me not. I have to figure that out. Community, yeah. There's a way, like if you're doing a live and someone is in your chat and you want them to be a moderator, you can click on their name and then make them a moderator. It's not that difficult. Would you guys benefit? Maybe Chris and I can work on something where it'll probably be remote, like a remote live every once in a while. I don't know. But maybe something we can work on in the future. For all of those of you who are yeah, Chris said making somebody a moderator during the live stream is the easiest way to do it. Yes. Valerie says, hey, she's over here on the YouTubes now. I think that's what we were looking at. I think she was on X at first. Make sure that I'm looking at the right thing here. Yeah, so she was on X. Now she's over here on YouTube. Fantastic. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, Valerie. Make sure you subscribe. Appreciate that very much. Bye, Sonny. You have a great day. Be safe out there doing all your gig work today. Be safe and good luck, my friend. I mean, you can always join in with us if you ever wanted to, but I was going to talk about Chris, whether it's Chris Cook in Nashville, Chris Bear. For all of those younger creators who are just starting out, who have questions about YouTube, sometimes We will get into conversations here on these lives about YouTube analytics and such, but it's not necessarily the best place because not everybody's interested in that. If some of you may want to join us for a YouTube discussion, we may be able to work that out along the way somewhere. Just let us know that you're interested and we can put something together in the near future. Maybe we can do one in February, whether Chris is involved or just me, any of the other larger YouTubers and such who kind of have an understanding. Analytics, which really, when you're, and then you're talking about the algorithm, when you're looking at the algorithm, it's really just your viewers, your audience. But yeah, I think that might be something that could be good. Who moderates the moderators? That's me. I do that. The Grind with Nicole. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Cindy, you just got a new subscriber from Valerie. Look at that. Sherry is here. Hi, friends. I just saw you are live. I missed church with a stupid cough and had to 11 till I can watch it on Facebook. Oh, okay. Well, welcome. Thank you for being here, my dear. You are always so glad to be seen here. Yeah, Chris said I'd be happy to do some videos on it. I'd dig deep into that. We can work that together. I think it's and it's one of those things too. Like that's some of the things that Chris and Victor and I talk about because when you are a creator and you're making videos and you put videos out into the world, like I put the video out yesterday and I got like 50 views in 12 hours. That's so disheartening when you see, and you can't compare yourself to others, but human nature is to compare yourself to others. So you see people put a video out and they get 1 million views in an hour. You're like, oh, and I can't even get 50 views in 12 hours. You start second guessing yourself. Did I put out a good video? You have to stop that because some of the videos that I put out didn't get any views at first, but they've caught on and gotten 30, 40,000 views. It just takes some time sometimes. But yeah, so I think Chris and I can get together and work on that at some point. Maybe even Chris Bear, if he would be so interested, because his wife says he has a way of explaining things that's very nice. You are very welcome, Jerry. Let's see. There is so much to learn. I've gotten a lot better and I'm still a newbie. Oh, I've been doing this 5 years. 5 years. Amy's interested. Lives with a chance to ask questions would be awesome. 100%. Tutorials would be great. Awesome. Dustin and I will be talking about editing software on Tuesday around lunchtime. He definitely is. Chris is a, let's see, Chris Cook in Nashville. Yum. You are a thoroughly great resource. 100%. You, not Yum. Yum works too. People are saying hello to people. Oh, so many amazing people in here today. I'm almost out of coffee. Chris says, I think what Miriam says is Chris has a way of explaining things that are boring. She literally has me go on a tangent if she's having a hard time sleeping and wants to tune out. oh, I do that sometimes to Chandra, and I just hear. I'll get to talking about something that's like totally out of like her realm of caring at all. Music, bands, whatever. She's just like, I'm like, you just have like sometimes you just have that like your brain goes in that mode where you're like, I need to talk about this right now. And who cares about it? Nobody. So I'm going to talk about it right now. Cindy is giving Valerie the link to her Facebook support page on Facebook. Fantastic. I'm in there as well. But Chris is not wrong. That happens a lot. I can talk Shannon to sleep like nobody's business. And Chris has a Mighty Network, so I'm going to share that here for everybody. If you would be so interested in joining his Mighty Networks, joining the band, you are more than welcome. And here is the link for that. That warning you give in the Keto Chow videos is hilarious. Chris says, this Chris says, I feel you. Ash is kind of to put up to my rants. You just scroll social media and says, Last night's tangent was Milwaukee versus Detroit Milwaukee versus DeWalt versus Hercules versus Bauer cordless tools and the newer Bauer brushless tools. But how do they compare to Harbor Freight, Chris? How do they compare to Harbor Freight? Between the two Chris's, I think combined they equal Keto Alton Brown. Nerdy food nerds rock. Yes. Let's see. So Bauer and Hercules are Harbor Freight and actually quite good. My brother worked for Harbor Freight for a little while, but it was a kind of a stopgap job, and he didn't like it very much. He didn't like working there. I mean, they are so dedicated on cost cutting that it doesn't make it very good to work there. That's definitely something, Chris. I don't know how much help I would be, but I think a Mighty Networks tutorial would be something amazing because I struggle trying to figure it out. It seems like it would be intuitive, but then I can't figure out how to get to things, and I can't figure out how to find new things because I want to comment and like things, and I want to follow people, and I want them to know that I'm there with them, and I'm like trying to figure it out. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Brian Doyle, tell us what you really feel, buddy. I hate Mighty Networks. Well, I use it. I don't really know how it works on the desktop. Seems to be okay. Chris, we need you to work 28 hours a day, please. We need you to find more hours in the day. We need more. And like that, the coffee was gone. App never lets me log in. Absolutely. The CCN Mighty Networks, join everyone. Please join. It supports Chris, keeps him making videos, the ones you guys like, making awesome videos like mashed potatoes 2.0, mashed potatoes, the revenge, mashed potatoes, the return, crackers. I'll try to buckle down on my commitment. What are we paying you for, Chris? Oh, wait, nothing? Yeah. The place we're looking at for the meetup is I'll put it here in the chat. We had a meetup there last year. It was pretty good. We had a meetup there last spring with 2KK. They were really accommodating. I think they open at 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday, they're open 11 to 9. Friday, Saturday. So Fridays and Saturdays are open till 10. So we do like 4 to 9, 5 to 9. It gives us like 4 hours. Sherry, there is a Ohio meetup. You can find that on lowcarbevents.com. It is March the 8th. It is a Hungry Horde meetup. So Heath and Shelly are coming in from Texas to Columbus, Ohio on March the 8th. I will be there. So you should be there too. Yeah, we did close that place down for sure. We all need more time. It's like that quote from A Man on Fire with Denzel Washington. I wish you had more time. And Chris is talking about Mighty Networks. It has so much more function for the members, not just me, which makes it a whole new experience. That's why I built the group the way so everyone else can be more involved. Yeah. And there's going to be Andy's meetup, Eaton, Ohio, June 28th. Let's see. Andy's the best. Oh, Claremont, Florida is having a meetup May the 3rd. We are doing a Central Indiana meetup May the 24th. We initially were planning on 2KK being in attendance, but I am not sure with them being in Indiana in April if they're going to be there in May as well. I think they had some obligations with their work with the trailer company, but I don't know for sure. So we'll be more to know about that in the coming weeks. Be on the lookout for that. That is not yet listed on lowcarbevents.com. But tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, join Chris, Victor, and myself for the Keto Crusade, installment number 3, talking about addiction. So be there tonight and join us. Tomorrow morning, I will be leaving to head towards Nashville to meet up with Chris and Ash. We've got some cool stuff planned. Going to film some content, I do believe. We are going to be doing that live on Tuesday. How to learn if you were someone using CapCut, which I did not use CapCut, but I have been using DaVinci Resolve since 2021. So I am pretty well versed in utilizing it, at least enough to get you started on how to use it. There are, once you learn from us, a great number of amazing people to get you deeper than you ever thought you'd get into any program. There's Daniel Patel. There is Mr. Alex Tech. There are so many great people who run DaVinci Resolve and do all kinds of great things and make little products for them that they sell to make your life easier, some little add-ons and such. So be on the lookout for that tonight, 8 p.m. We will not be doing a Tuesday live this week, Shannon and I. We may be doing a Wednesday live, but I am not sure if I'll be home in time. If I get home in time to set that up, you will see it. So make sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified when I make things ready to go. Because I don't know for sure if we'll be doing a live on Wednesday, but I know Tuesday I will not, because I will be in Dixon, Tennessee with Chris, Ash, Amanda Decker, Nisha, and Dr. Barry for their Q&A. I'm excited to see who shows up. Hugs, high fives, fist bumps, all those great things. But I think that is it for now. There's a lot of meetups coming up in the near future. Again, we are working out the details for April the 1st in Elkhart, Indiana with the Great Bears. They're not furry, but they're great. They make keto chow, and they are friends. They're funny. They're great people, a great company. If you are in the Michiana area, anywhere near Ohio, Michigan, the northern Indiana border, try to come out and hang out with us. It'll be awesome. But with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I've been out of coffee for a while. We've been doing this for 2 hours and 50 minutes. I love each and every one of you so very much. Please consider becoming a member if you're not already. If you want to see your name in the end credits here, come on over to YouTube. Join the 99-cent membership. I'm working on other memberships as well. We will be having a good time. Love your faces. Until next time, probably Wednesday.